Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to the 2022 Acer High School Cup. This is Term 4. This is Rocket League. I am HazDaddySlim, and I'm joined once again this week by Foxy. Foxy, good to see you. The cameras are working today. We've got some movement, no lag. Well, at least for the time being. We remain hopeful, fingers crossed, and we're back for some more Rocket League action. After last week, I'm ready to, sink my teeth into a few more good games.
I mean, with half of the games we had last week, nothing's going to beat last week's games. Some of them were pretty top-notch from both teams on pretty much every game. We got an interesting start to this one, as we got two teams who have only had one loss in the tournament so far, but Gladiators have a bit of a handicap today.
Yes, no, unfortunately, the Gladiators are going to be without one of their players. So we have a 2v3, which is something that doesn't usually happen, and especially with the old competition and the old Rocket League ones as well. It's not exactly where the old Gladiators team would want to be at the present time, but, well, sometimes things do happen and you can't really do much about them in that sense. So hopefully it's still a pretty interesting game. So both these teams have only suffered the one loss, so yeah. Possibly, you never know. If the Gladiators are feeling it today, they're on song, they might be able to find something through there. But, I mean, on the other side of things, you would almost call it a bit of a win, maybe, for the side there. I believe it is the Brass who are actually playing, who we did have a chance to cast last week, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we did, and they are a really good side as well. I mean, it would nearly be a 50-50 matchup if they were playing 3v3. I think it changes to about a 90% to 10%. I mean, I've seen 2v3s, but to go an entire series and manage to find your way to get 2 wins out of 3 is going to take a miracle. I've seen weirder things happen, and it would be quite the story if it could happen, because it would keep them up in that top 4 area and give them a good shot at playoffs as well. So, I mean, they're going to have to, at the moment, play the entire day with 2 players unless their third shows up. So could be a big day for them. Got to get at least 1 win 2v3.
Yes, no, it's always a bit of a difficult one there. I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and even when you do have a team like Gladiators who have proven that they are a very quality squad, when you're playing as another quality squad, I mean, if it was a 2v3, you might be playing against someone who's a bit lower down the leaderboard. Could actually make for a bit of an interesting game, but I feel like this should be a win over to the Brass boys for this one. You never know, though. As we said, I believe in miracles. It can always come through. But we do have, of course, a few more games to come through today. We have St. Joseph's Nudgee College Pacific Hills to follow this one. Lismore are playing the Southern Cross Catholic College. Come around 3 o'clock. Linwood and Greenpoint Christian College as well for our 3:30 slot. And then to finish us off, Temple Christian College and the Portland Secondary College. If all those games actually go to plan there, sometimes things don't quite go that way. But before we do go any further and get into any more of the action today, we do need to thank a few of our sponsors. Foxy, do you want to take us away with our first one off the rank, or first cab off the rank?
Of course, Acer Predator Gaming, as always, here every week, and they're our presenting partner. They're providing all your gaming and education PC needs and powering the high school league. So thanks to those guys for powering the league. ViewSonic, education partner. Upgrade your classroom today with ViewSonic's large format interactive displays and the MyViewBoard software suite, which of course giving away that $9,000 software suite to the winner of this competition, which is huge from MyViewBoard and ViewSonic. So thank you very much for that one. AOC Monitor, the monitor partner. Get the best gaming experience with their range of gaming monitors. So thanks to AOC for that one. I have an AOC monitor. I love it. Big AOC monitor, curved monitor. And Rig Gaming headset partner. Experience great sound with Rig's gaming range of headsets. So thank you to everybody who's sponsoring this fantastic competition for the kids.
Yes, thank you to all of our sponsors through there. Big thanks to all of them. Without the sponsors, we wouldn't be able to do what we are right now, which is a bit of casting and what we are about to get into soon. The players are starting to get in towards the lobby, and we will soon be joining them as well for our first game for the day. And remember, guys, if you are joining us for the first time, one of the teams, of course, the Gladiators, are short well, short at least the one player. So it is a 2v3 for our first game, which is, you know, considering what some pretty good teams in this one, is a bit of a shame, but we make do with what we have, and we're ready to get this one underway. Foxy, here we are, classic 2v3 for our first game of the day.
I mean, if they can play well, they definitely can win it. I mean, Swirls is a good player who's proved actor. That's his in-game name. I know that. And he scores straight away, and they do score 2v3, and it's a good start.
Well, that it is. So Greenpoint Christian College will grab the first there. Yeah, I mean, you're just talking them up, and they decided to deliver as well on that one.
Yep.
Beautiful goal for the start there. 1-0 after just 15 seconds. So the orange team on the right of screen, of course, Greenpoint Christian College. They are the ones playing with just the two. And they might only need the two. The confidence flowing early for them.
Yeah, Swirls, funnily enough, is more of a twos type of player. I mean, there's a lot of these kids do play a lot more doubles than what they do threes. So who knows? It could be a bit of a power to them that they're able to, I guess, know the rotation of twos. It can be a bit weird having that, I guess, third player on your opposition when you're so used to playing 2v2s, and you can get a bit, I guess, over-attacky and everything else. But now that they're 1-0 up, they can try to waste, I guess, as much time off the clock as they can. But not if Saber scores a double like that. And there's the start for the boys in blue. They've only got to play against two, but that's a big one.
Yeah, and a beautiful setup there from Fat Red Panda. Sabrex flying in for the middle there. Double taps it into the top right corner, and now we're tied, one apiece as we tick down just below 4 minutes on this one. And Fat Red Panda flying forward off the middle, looking to get their second goal moving straight away. Will be cleared there from approved actor as a Panda with the intercept towards the middle. Clicks it, will have to come out of the goal. Nice save on that one. As we continue to tick down, it's just going to be the problem here is, open goal there. This could have been taken by Bacon, but it's going to be the problem for having that one less number. Just trying to get back on defense when they go forward to attack, which they might have to do. If the guys over on Greenpoint, I should say, the Gladstone Park Secondary College do manage to find another goal, get themselves in the lead.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing playing 2v3 as well, is that you have no room for error. You have no room for any whiffs in the air. You're going to leave one player on their own against three, or even an over-attack would just make it completely open, and you're going to have to play absolutely perfect with no issues, or else it's just going to be open goals. And I mean, they've gone 2 minutes. It's 1-1. I'm sure it'll open up at some stage, but whether or not they can get themselves a couple of goals and put themselves in with a chance, I think that the first 2 minutes has shown that perhaps the odds have changed from 90% to about 80, because at the moment they're actually being able to hold them and give themselves somewhat of a chance to create this miracle.
Well, it's all coming down really to just trying to play sort of a counter-attacking football here, which they might have a chance here. Clears towards the other side. Here comes a proof actor, and he does it all himself from that side. The clearance and the follow-up is perfect. Sabrex with the initial pop up in the air actually put them in a really horrible position. Panda had no boost to get up. A proof actor comes flying in from the middle, and a beautiful goal, and they retake the lead 2-1 with the two players.
I mean, Swirls, he's a very good twos player. I think just a little bit higher than me in ELO for twos at the moment. So he's high up there, and for a young kid as well, he's only going to get better. And I mean, it really does look like funnily enough, they've only had one loss this season, but the way that they're playing at the moment and the way that Swirls plays well in twos, they're playing as a two than what they usually do as a three, because of the rotation and the fast rotation that they have to play. The only issue is they're just got to watch out for those openings.
Well, this is really starting to become a bit of a problem now time-wise for Gladstone. We're below the 2 minutes, and just start thinking in the back of their head, it's a 2v3 and approved actor. He might have another chance here. Panda will come across for the intercept there, not allowing that one to come through. They'll continue a little bit of forward momentum with this one. Bacon will get the clearance, but approved actor waiting in the back lines there. Should be able to deal with that one. This will fly across nicely to get the intercept there. Panda again, the center, but they're just defending well enough. Not roll on that one, but crispy Bacon flying in from the middle. And there it is. You emphasize it was just any slight misses, any aerials, and it just leaves them stuck on the ground. And there it is. And we are tied once again, this time at 2 apiece.
Yeah, the problem there was both of them going up, putting themselves both out of rotation, and only one player had boost. And once it was put out in front of goal like that, when it's 2v3 especially, but when it's 2v2, you're put into no man's land. You just got to hope that the ball hits your car, and it didn't. And it's 2-2 with a minute to go. If they were told at the start of the game, look, we're going to play a 1-minute game, it's 2-2, you got yourself a chance to win game 1, they'd be happy with that. They're just going to find themselves an opening, get themselves a chance before it's too late. And here's a chance for SaberX, just misses off to the side. And here's a chance for Crispy Bacon, good save, 50 seconds to go, game 1.
Throwing everything at the moment here at Gladstone Park Secondary College. They've got the numbers advantage. They don't hold an advantage on the scoreboard at the moment as we tick down below 40. Actor will get that one clearance away. It's going to come flying right back there from Fat Red Panda. And now they're called with their pants down towards goal. Here comes Bacon. Oh, he's missed it. A lovely come across there, and they will be able to hold it down as we tick below 30 seconds. It is still anyone's game here.
Yeah, they've started to realise that they should have a third man doing demos. I know it's a bit BM, but if they have a third man doing demos and getting one player out of the game, it turns into a 3v1 pretty quickly. And 10 seconds to go, and Fat Red Panda's got a chance here to be the meanie and get rid of game 1 for them. It goes up into the air. Can SaberX get there? He can't. Fat Red Panda turns back onto it. SaberX will hit it up into the air. And this is a chance for Fat Red Panda to win the game. Oh, off the crossbar, good save. And we could be going to overtime in what would be a miracle game 1.
That is where we are going, 2 apiece. Neither team can break through for the win in regulation. So here we go with the extra time. The demolitions now starting to come in as the realisation setting here on Gladstone that this could really go wrong for them. A 3v2 situation. They still haven't been able to find the win. They still have the numbers in their favour, both in player count and percentage-wise, as they look to go forward again. Approved Actor will block that one out towards the middle. Both teams going for boosts here as Actor. A nice knock towards the middle, falls down towards the centre. Chris Bacon, they're all there. Klexa have to be so careful at the same time here, Green Point, because they don't want to overextend too much. Leave an open goal, which could happen here. Fat Red Panda, Klexa will intercept, but can they get back towards this one? Bacon towards the top, it's too high. Klexa will clear. We've gone 40 seconds in overtime. Still no one can break the deadlock.
Yeah, Greenpoint is starting to panic that they might be able to, that they're going to choke this 3v2 to start off with, and Gladiators really are trying to win with the 2 players. As I've confused it with the scoreboard as well. It's around the other way. I'm pretty sure that Gladiators are the 2.
Hey, well, I've been reading the school name, so I'm all good.
That's my fault for putting them around the wrong way. But yeah, Gladiators really trying their best with these 2 players. And funnily enough, they do have an attack here, but they've got to watch themselves to, if any boom like that happens, all of a sudden they're going to put themselves in such trouble. And this is the chance for Fat Red Panda to try and create something. It goes up into the air. It's a good play because it puts them under pressure, and this is a chance for Fat Red Panda to get something going, and that's a good stop from Swirls, because that would have been a goal otherwise. Swirls going up the other end, tries to get the shot off. Good save by Crispy Bacon, comes back around to Klexa, tries to get the shot.
Oh, he's there!
And Swirls, oh, nearly wins it.
That was there for the taking. Fat Red Panda with a beautiful block as Swirls has to make his way back towards the defense. SaberX sitting in towards the middle. Klickser and him will go towards that one together. Ball falls out towards that left side. Klickser again looking to try and center anything up, but Crispy Bacon there. Swirls towards the middle again. And if they had that third player, that's when they'd come flying on in. They don't at the moment. SaberX now looking to try and dribble this one towards the goal. A couple of nice knocks-ups down, and Swirls waiting on that one. Times it to perfection. Another clearance as we tick over 2 minutes 20 now. Still no one able to find it. Panda putting this one in the air, but again, it's just clearance after clearance back and forth. Neither team able to find that opening.
Flexer's got a chance here to get it, and here's a chance for Swirls, but he gets knocked out of the way. It was good defensive play, or else Swirls would have been given a chance there. And now it's 2v1. It gets knocked back up. Klexer's got to turn back onto this and watch himself. He does get there. Swirls will get onto this. It's going to come back to SaberX, though. They're going to be able to reset. Fat Red Panda's waiting up there already, waiting to get a demo, waiting to get a play or something. But Klexer gets rivet again. It comes back to Fat Red Panda, who's going to hit it up into the air. Tries to get something on it, but couldn't quite. Here's the chance. There's the chance. Crispy Bacon does get the winners, 3 players. They find a way to get through this wonderful duo who have tried their best in game one, but it's not over yet.
Well, for a 3v2, it certainly went the distance. Almost 3 minutes of added time there, and a nice finish from Crispy Bacon to get that one done. And they will take a 1-0 lead, Greenpoint Christian College, but they had to give absolutely everything just to get there. And I mean, whatever happens for the rest of this game, even if it was a 2-0 series victory in the end, I mean, all credit to Gladstone Park Secondary College. They've shown up and they've done incredibly well on that one.
Yeah, and I mean that's the point that I've been trying to make about if they end up playing as two players for the entire day, are they going to get wins and everything else? Oh yeah, for sure. They play like that. Yeah, they'll find wins. They'll find 2v3 wins today. Probably not on stream, but they will find ways to get wins and make sure that they get themselves a huge win that would probably put themselves into playoff contention as we get into game 2. I've been calling him Swirls and it's Cobra. Yeah, sorry. They're the same person. Not really, but they are. They're mates. They know each other. It's alright. It's Cobra, not Swirls. I get the two confused because they have a very similar play style, but
well,
there we go.
It's been figured out now.
Yeah, you'll need to swap around the names as well.
For Greenpoint and the Gladstone, is it on the wrong side? Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that'd make it even better. So I've been calling out the wrong school names the entire time as well. It just gets better and better, this one.
I know, right? Well, yeah. Gladstones are gladiators. That's
well, usually when we're given these stuff, it is actually on the left and right, so it should be that. But
yeah, yeah. So maybe it was your fault.
Who knows? Well, no, they were left and right. I could put Gladstone on the left. I put Greenpoint on the right. That's how they were presented to me. So unless someone's, I believe so.
Oh, okay. Maybe
you're getting in my head. Don't start with that.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, there's that as well. That Gladstone Park missing their captain as well. So not only are they playing 2v3, but they're missing Speedy, who's probably their best player as well. So the fact that they've been able to get themselves some type of game out of game 1 and really trying hard in game 2 here as well to hold on and get themselves a game 2 win, which at the moment they're a minute in and they've been attacking pretty much the entire time. So they really do see themselves as a good chance to get a win. And I mean, with Cobra, I mean, I was playing against Cobra yesterday, and that's how bad my memory is that I called him the wrong name as well, when literally his name is always Approved Actor, and I still forgot it. But a minute and a half in, it's still 0-0.
That it is. As we continue on this one, I now realise why I got the wrong names. This is because when Nitro sent through the actual school names for them, they were in the opposite order. That's how I copied them through. So apologies for that one, guys. So it's Greenpoint that are currently leading this one. Gladstone Park Secondary College are the team on the right that do have the only two players and trailing at the moment. As we've gone 2 minutes in this one, yet to find a score on Actor. Somehow just getting enough on that as Crispy Bacon come flying on in. Always a dangerous one when you're caught on your wheels like that, having to get just that slight bit of boost up for the block there. Fat Red Panda himself caught a little towards this one. Ball falling towards the middle. Crispy Bacon will get the shot towards goal. Flying up to left side, trying to get that knockdown. Doesn't quite fall on the follow. Saber-X can't quite get the goal, but Fat Red Panda, surely this one will finally roll in. And they will be the first one on the board there. 1-0. And we've just gone almost about halfway through this second game.
Difference of 3 players right there. If there was 2 players, that third man isn't there to get that shot in. And because they do have that third man, it's a good shot. It goes in the bottom corner. There's not a third man there to save it on the other side. So it's kind of a double whammy on the side of Gladstone. But yeah, I mean, I got the team confused against Speedy's supposed to be on the blue side and is not playing today, so they do have a bit of a handicap themselves.
We've got all the misinformation coming through today.
Yeah,
First game as well. It's going pretty nicely.
It's because we had to. I do all this research for all the teams, and then all of a sudden one team doesn't show up, and
you get thrust into a 2v3 where both teams have no idea what's going on.
Just throw it out. It's Here's a chance for Sabre. He couldn't quite get there. And I mean, 1-0, 2 minutes to go. They've still put themselves in with a chance in game 2 as well. A lot of 2v3s you see where it's like 6-0 and the game's already over. And they're trying to find themselves a chance. And it's a chance for Cobra right here, as that one's going to just be saved by Sabre, because if it wasn't, it was going top corner. 1:30 to go, and they're really starting to put some pressure on.
Continue down here. We've got 90 seconds now left on the clock. Fat Red Panda dribbling towards the middle. We'll try and get that one over the top of Actor, and we'll just get there for the time being. Panda and Bacon, and there is the open goal. And just getting caught outside there was KL. Well, I was thinking it was going to be a wall ride there. Realised his mistake.
Yeah.
And an open goal there, not much he could do. And that's, well, you know, not having that extra player. That's kind of one where, you know, Sam with the wall ride, he'd usually have someone to cover back towards goal. Unfortunately, on this circumstance, and now sitting at 2-0. It might even be 3-0 if Fat Red Panda get the end of that. But Clixer will get that clear. Switch it down towards a minute left. And, well, this one seems to be coming to its logical conclusion. But it's not like the guys over in Gladstone Park Centenary College haven't given a good showing for us.
Oh, no. I mean, we've seen more one-sided games on a 3v3 this season, and this one's actually been quite the fight from Plexer and.
My mind goes back to last week's last game that we did.
Yeah, the 10 goals from Zav, 19 in the space of 2 games.
Yes, I think there was almost about a 20 nothing, 21 maybe scoreline towards the end of one of the games there. Always good
nearly
fun.
Fell asleep by the end of that one, but this one's actually been quite entertaining, and they really have tried their best, and there's still time on the clock. They've got a chance here. Oh, if he had called it, he probably screamed at him. He had the chance there, and that's gonna be it. A Sabre open goal, misses it. Oh my! He's gonna be mad at that one. He'll clip that later. His mates are gonna clip it. They're gonna laugh at him. But that's gonna be it.
Not making the highlights reel. I wouldn't have thought that one.
Crispy Bacon will finish it off. Hat trick.
Oh, there's Actors left the game with a second to go as well. So now it is literally just a 3v1 in the last second as well. Well, there's not really much he can do at this point, but the game will end pretty momentarily, and that will be a win for Greenpoint Christian College. Definitely not the walk in the park they were probably thinking it might have been, but it is a job done nonetheless. 3-0 to finish, a 2-0 series scoreline, and that is our first game in the books for the day.
I mean, it was a fight, and they definitely made it a fight. It could have been so much worse. It could have been so much worse for them, but they actually genuinely did try to get the win there, and you could definitely tell. It got to the end of the game, and they definitely started to, I guess, look a bit more tired. They had a few good plays in game 1, and I mean, they went 5 seconds in and scored straight away. So they had the confidence from there. If that first goal didn't go in the first 5 seconds, who knows what would have happened? It could have been a complete washout, but they managed to get the momentum that they needed at the start. And once they did have that momentum at the start, they had a chance but just couldn't quite get over the line of 3v2 that would have been a miracle, and nearly was.
Yeah, no, I mean, full credit to them as well. They really gave a great effort for. It's always a hard one when you're going up against. You already know it's a 2v3. It's always a bit of an opportunity. We think, oh, well, you know, this one's already over. We can't really do much about it. But I mean, first goal came on their side there for the brass squad. I mean, you got to give credit to them. They gave everything that they had. Unfortunately, didn't have that extra player. Always going to make it difficult, but I would be interested to see if we do see these two teams go up against each other again, what it will be like when it is actually a 3v3. Because, I'll be honest, I mean, Greenpoint Christian College, they sort of snuck away with one there. There's a couple of instances where you would have raised an eyebrow, but also on the other end of things, they were missing their captain, so there's a lot of things that just weren't right today. But hopefully if these two meet again in either the regular season or comes final time, I think it'll be a pretty good match for that one. But we're going to swing it to a quick break, guys. When we return, we've got another game, which is also a replacement. But I think it's St. Francis de La Salle's College, who we had a chance to cast last week, and as well as the Temple Christian College guys. So that should be a bit of fun for that one. So don't go anywhere, guys. We will be right back after this. Welcome back, guys. Hope you're doing well. If you're joining us for the first time today, welcome again to the 2022 Acer High School Cup. This is Term 4 for Rocket League. We had our first game just before. It was the Brass squad up against the Gladiators, and it was the Gladiators, I believe, in the end coming out. We had some trouble with the team names and switch sides, players not being called the right names, a 2v3 overtime that went for... It was a pretty hectic start to the day, I've got to admit, but we're out of that one. It's done, and the guys over on the side of the Gladiators... Was the Gladiators the one? I still can't even remember what's happened in the end. It's all just gone by that quickly. But we do have a great game coming up for this one. We've got the Temple College or Christian College Ghost squad, who have yet to drop a game. But they've got a difficult one to come up against today because it's St. Francis de La Salle's College, and they're 9-2. They've only lost the 2 games, one against, well, both times against some pretty good opponents as well. So even with this one, I'm looking forward to what should be a pretty good match here.
I mean, Temple are a very, very good side. St. Francis have been struggling against the better sides. There's still 1,000% a chance, but they've gone. The 2 games that they've lost were both 2-0s, and now they're playing against Temple, who have not lost a game the entire tournament so far. Looking good to get into that grand final later on in 2 weeks' time. And Temple looking to be that undefeated team as well, with against the other team, which is currently 11-0 at the moment, which is Newstead. So if the story continues, Ghosts will win it, but who knows? I mean, it's not over until the final whistle. They'll give themselves a chance, but they're going to need more than a chance in this one, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, we'll go back over those ones. The 2 games they have lost have been 2-1s. And they were against Brass, and they were against Newstead College. So 2 of the top 4 teams there. So they've definitely given at least a pretty good showing on both of those.
Yep.
Haven't been out, so they're just outside the top 4. Haven't been able to crack those 2, and now they have the task today to see if they can hand the Ghosts their first loss of the season. Considering the ones they've been close against, it looks like they've got an opportunity. Can they be third time lucky against one of these top 4 teams? We are going to find out. Most of the players are just starting to get into the lobby, so hopefully we won't be too far away from getting it set. But, well, we weren't even going to be casting this one. It's supposed to be another game. We haven't had the best thing with check-ins so far. We've gone 0 of 2. Hopefully for us, third time's a charm for our, I believe our next game to follow this one.
I think the
should
next one will definitely be.
And should this is fingers crossed, will be Lismore High Yellow and the Southern Cross Gold. That is the those 2 there. So hopefully, you never know with that on that side of things. But yeah, for this game, this should be good. This is sort of for De La Salle's, if they want to make progress in towards the finals and cement themselves as one of those top 4 teams, this is one of the win games they need to get. This is where they need to break through, because 2-1s against top 4 teams and both losses is not bad at all. You're clearly showing you've got the skill and potential for it. You just need to make sure that you can, when the time comes, deliver on that promise. So hopefully they can get the job done today. On the other side of things, Ghost, I mean, they're looking to be up there with Newstead for an 11-0 record. Not a single loss, not a single tie. Just keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, and the thing as well with St. Francis is, I mean, they win this game against Temple, and they're pretty much given themselves a top 8. I think that mathematically, it's pretty much, it'd nearly be impossible for them to not qualify if they'd be 10-2, and not only that, but then it would mean that Newstead would be the only team undefeated going into the final week. The interesting thing is, this is probably Ghost's last big hurdle to get through. If they get through this one, then they could end up going all the way. And the funny thing is that Newstead and TCC Ghosts, who are undefeated so far, play the very final game of the season, of the normal group stage season. They will play for undefeated territory in the very last game of the season if they both end up undefeated as well. So that'd be, I would make sure that one is on stream.
Oh, that one would be an absolute classic if we do get the opportunity to see those 2 teams in action. I mean, best versus the best, you can't ask for much better than that. But, well, the other guys, I believe the last few have started to log in there for the old, I think it was the St. Francis squad that might have just needed to get that one loading in, but we are almost ready to get this one underway. This should be an absolute spectacle. I'm ready to see some action. Foxy, mate, I think this is going to be a cracker. Can we see the guys on St. Francis finally get that win against a top 4 team, or are we seeing an undefeated run continue for Temple Creston College? We're going to find out. Let's get this one rolling.
Here we go. So this big team in blue that are pretty much playing for playoffs here versus a team that are playing for undefeated territory coming into 2 weeks left on the season. And good start for the boys in blue as well, as they're able to get a good attack going on here against DeCloud, who is probably their best player. But Unique God last week we saw is just, he is a unique god. He manages to find these touches and find these plays that not only get his teammates into the play, but also just puts himself into the play. And I mean, on the other side, you've got Colsey, who has been brilliant this season for the side of St. Francis. And they're really going to give themselves a chance in it, as Colsey nearly gets a shot off there. And 4 minutes to go in game one. And it's 0-0 in the series, so you'll have to fix that on the scoreboard.
It is 0-0 in the series. Yes, it is. I will have to get rid of the one there. Look, I've just loved St. Francis that much. I thought I'd give them an early advantage just to really drive home that one there. But yeah, so far they have been the ones doing the attacking. As Colsey getting one that's set up in the middle as well. Mitch will get the takeaway there, looking to get that centre. Nice airwood one there. Runs out of the boost. It's coming downwards over to Unique God. He's been up there full of clearances. They haven't really been able to get forward, though, at all at the moment. Temple Christian College. Alley-oop again, another shot. Wrinkley there on the defensive, but all three back in goals. Finally, some clearance away. But it looks like it's going to be coming straight down again.
Yeah, they're making them worry. I genuinely, this has been a good start from the side of St. Francis. They looked very good last week, and they're looking good here too, as that one nearly goes in. Oh, and it does, and Mitch finds a lead as it just goes over the line. And what a start for the boys in blue.
Huge stuff there. Unique God did what he could in the goals, but could not put that one out, and it is 1-0. We've gone a minute 50 to start this one, and it has been all attacking from St. Francis. What the Temple Christian College have, they're the undefeated team, and they're the ones under enormous pressure at the moment. Alley-oop trying to take that one away. This one almost falling just straight towards goal. No one was back for St. Francis, luckily able to clear that one in the end. Cloud getting that one towards goal again. Hoop's going to be this one. Finally, we're seeing some attacking prowess coming out here from Temple Christian College as they look to try and get themselves some form of momentum, but the clearance away. We'll see St. Francis back on towards the attack.
I think that Temple have been, I guess, they've had so many good games recently that you can definitely tell that they've been shocked by the start here. As here's a chance for DeCloud. Oh, that would have been one of the best goals we've seen so far in the tournament, but couldn't quite get there. You can definitely tell because of the way that they're rotating. They're rotating very attacking-wise, as if the opponent's gonna miss it. Whereas they're not allowing that, St. Francis. They really aren't. They're rotating brilliantly. They're getting the ball. They're playing very good. As Mitch nearly gets onto that one, and that was a chance as well. But you can definitely see that when they come forward, all three are coming forward, and that could put them into real trouble later on in this game.
Unique God will get that destruction there. Colsey leaving it down. Alley-oop trying for that side hit there. Can't quite get anything on it in the end there as Colsey with the destruction onto Wrinkley. Looking to try and clear that one once again, and Wrinkley coming back from the respawn. It's going to miss both players there. Colsey flying in. Oh, misses that one. Alley-oop, Colsey. No, Unique God. Oh, was an absolute just whatever you want to call it on the goal line there. All over the shop were both teams, and somehow it doesn't roll in. But again, it's falling down the way here to St. Francis, and they are just controlling the ball. All they need to be careful of is just a couple of times they have been caught off guard when they have been falling back into towards those defensive spots. And you don't want to leave too many opportunities for him and his teammates to break through. But ticking down towards a minute, this is all St. Francis at the moment.
Yeah, I got to say that they're playing very well. And I mean, they've only scored one goal, but to go 4 minutes in these type of competitions and not concede a goal against a team that is not, that has basically hardly even lost a game, let alone lost a series, has been brilliant from this side. And 45 seconds to go, and we might need something unique from Unique God to get them over the line here, because they're starting to panic. They're starting to really put themselves forward, and it could end up being 2-0 because of how many players are coming forward, how many demos are coming in. How many demos are coming in? That one's just going to hit the corner and go out. 30 seconds to go, and it's still panic stations for the side of Temple as they're going to find a goal.
That was the one. The two destructions, an open goal missed to the right. That would have been St. Francis delivering this one here. They still might have it though. 18 seconds, and there it is. Mitch Krakis will finish us off there, 2-0 with 13 seconds to go, and St. Francis de La Salle's College are going to take a 1-0 lead in this series unless something absolutely insane happens. But Temple Christian College, they have not logged in for this first game.
Wow, this has got to be the first game that they've played all season where they haven't scored a goal. They haven't even looked like scoring a goal. This has been a brilliant game from Mitch Krakis, who is on fire. St. Francis de Sales, 1-0 up in the series.
Hat-trick complete and a beautiful assist from Colsey. And it really is party time. We only saw one goal in 4.5 minutes of play, and now we've seen two in the space of 10 seconds as the timer will tick down to its logical conclusion. Unique God! Well, now we're seeing all the goals flying in, and they will be able to find a goal. Yeah. So their run of goals will continue in this competition, but it's not going to help at the end scored line for this one. Temple Christian College with the first there. 3-1, 2 seconds remaining. And now it's just, well, can we see another goal? I mean, we've gotten three in the space of about 20 seconds. Let's get another one. It even might come through here. And a clearance there from DeCloud. We'll see this one finish as the ball will be knocked down there. And St. Francis, a 1-0 lead in this best of three. And Temple Christian College, they don't have a lot of time to turn this around.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with best of threes, isn't it? Is that you lose the first game and all of a sudden you're like, oh no, what are we doing? And Temple Christian just didn't warm up for this game here. I mean, they've been in their, from their mind, they've been really, really getting through some easy games this season, and to get through this one here, and I mean, they've gotten to game one and gone, oh no, struggling to score. Game two coming up now, they've got to score. They've got to start getting into it. Unique God, just like that, right as Foxy says they got to score. Now he puts some power into 131 Ks off the kickoff.
Well, that's how you get that one underway. I was going to say whether or not they were going to wake up after being challenged for one of the first times this season in quite a while. Temple Christian College, and Unique God delivers on that one, but right back at him! Mitch Krakis! He's got 4 goals overall in both 2 games so far, and we've got 2 goals in the space of 6 seconds. What is going on?
That's massive. That is just such a big goal in terms of the series. Like, Unique God scores there 3 seconds in and they're going, okay, yep, we're back in this. We're normal now. And Mitch Krakis just says, nope, nah, no way. And they've put themselves back into this game too with an early goal. All of a sudden, you might as well be 0-0 at this stage. Mitch Krakis is looking very good. That was just saved by Unique God. Who finds a way to get back. They were panicking.
That was a beautiful tap on Unique God, somehow getting back just in time. Just the littlest of flicks. It doesn't look like much, but that was almost sensationally in the back of the net there. Mitch Krakis, he's woken up today and he's feeling all right. I reckon he's had the 12 Wheat Bix. Don't know how well that actually affects the car more than the person, but we are seeing it so far with these goals right now. As Colsey, he wants to jump into the action, flying towards the top left and all, flying from the side. Mitch, though, it's an open goal, and it's a lead for St. Francis de La Salle's. Temple Christian College on the back foot. Unique with a nice clearance, but there's no one else home, and Mitch says, thank you very much, mother, for the chickens. 2-1. Whew. Not a bad game, this one.
I mean, this game has become, for the boys in blue, set up Mitch. Just set up Mitch, you'll be fine. And that's exactly what it's been like. It's been Colsey, set up Mitch. That's been the series. Literally, if you were to put it in one sentence. And at the moment, I mean, 2 players going up on the side of Temple. They really are panicking. And this is another setup for Mitch. Couldn't quite get there. And even Ali Hoopers, who was a lower-ranked player, has been playing very, very good defensively as well. This has been a very good show from St. Francis. And Unique God tries to get onto that one. Maybe a demo coming in. Chance up the other end. That one might go in. It goes off the wall. Back to Mitch Krakis. And it's in 3-1.
Aggressive from Temple Christian College. All 3 players down there. Colsey missed the first one. Mitch gets the tap in to follow up, and there's nothing Unique God can do. tries for a save. All he ends up doing is putting it into the top corner, and 3-1. St. Francis de La Salle's, they are causing a boil over at the moment. They've gone 0-2, 2-1 against two top four teams, and third time's the charm might be what's happening here. Again, they're on the attack. Again, bringing that ball forward. Coles, you have to fall off this one. But this is Temple Christian College. They're undefeated. What have they got? There's still at least the 3 minutes remaining, but it just doesn't seem likely at the moment.
I'm going to apologise and say that last week I said really there's only two teams who are looking like winning this season. I'm gonna back up and say that this side here, St. Francis, are showing up. They really are late on in the season, and it's been really, really good this series from them, rotation-wise. And I mean, every goal has been from Mitch Krakis as he just overdoes that one. 3-2, 2:38 to go. They're coming back into it, Temple. Plenty of time on the clock. Is a game 3 coming?
I was going to say, hold on, Foxy. 3-2, 2:38. This series is very much far from over. Temple Christian College bring it back to just the goal. We've seen how quickly these two teams can score off the start as well. Nothing from this one, but Unique God taking the boost off the top here. Get a nice knockdown as well. Falling towards goal. Just enough of a knock across from Colesy to get that clearance there. DeCloud trying to set this one back towards the middle. It's going to be intercepted there from Mitch. Knock over the top, and DeCloud back on the defense. Every time Mitch gets a ball forward, it is just so nice to watch in the attacking one. As Colesy over top of Wrigley. That one might just even roll in. DeCloud. Alley-oop. He's been the defensive man so far this game, but he decides to join in on the action. And flat-footed just a couple of times to Cloud. He had to just do something, stop it. But in the process, left it all open for alley-oop. 4-2. They've got the 2-goal buffer back, and we've got 2 minutes left in this one.
The way that this series has been going, if you were to tell me that somebody else other than Mitch scored, I would have said Colesy. But Alley gets onto that one because he's been a very good defensive player and staying back and making sure the other two are able to attack. And it just comes to him. It just goes right in front of him. He finds a way. Here's a chance for Colesy as he couldn't quite. And he just managed to get the tap in. And 150 to go on the clock. The positioning from Alley was perfect. And he's going for another one, but that one's banged away. Wrinkly might be able to get a chance here because there's a demo in play. And Mitch does well to get it into the corner. Comes back to Unique God. Brilliant block again from the boys in blue. Here's a chance for alley-oop. He tries to get it. It's knocked away. Mitch Krakis doesn't know what to do. Could have went on the wall, didn't instead. And maybe, nope, 1:25 to go. There's still a 2-goal buffer.
It's just the mistakes here, unfortunately, just keep racking up for Temple Christian College. And alley-oop has his second. I was going to say the mistakes that have been made here, like from St. Francis, they've only done the 2, but that's when Temple Christian College have jumped. And unfortunately, it's just been a really uncharacteristic-like performance here from Temple Christian College. I mean, all credit to St. Francis. They have been spectacular. And 5-2, 3-goal buffer. We're down to a minute 10. I think this one might be done. This might be their third time's the charm. They beat a top 4 team, and they might even just push themselves in the top 4 here, St. Francis.
The way that the game's going, it could be done, but don't stop Unique God. He can absolutely just pop off at any second, but now they have to go all attacking. One more goal would end it. Ellie gets the hat trick. Unbelievable game from Alley-oop, who's just pretty much won it. And now there's only one undefeated side in the season.
That there is. Newstead will stand above all as Temple Christian College are going to suffer their first series loss this season. It has been a spectacular performance from St. Francis. DeCloud desperately trying to bring one forward, desperately trying to find any sort of goal, any sort of just niceness towards the scoreboard to make it look all right. Alley-oop! Oh, he was looking at 4, just too much on it. And the other way, Wrinkly might be able to tuck this one over the top, but Mitch is back. He's been fantastic on attack, fantastic on defence. It's what St. Francis have been so on both sides. They've only allowed the 3 goals. They've kicked 6 in this one. They kicked 3 in the first, 9 against 3 all up in these 2 games as we tick down to 20 seconds and make it number 7. Mitch delivers with his 4th, 7-2. This is an absolutely stunning display from St. Francis.
What a goal. I mean, that goes in 10 seconds ago. I mean, alley-oop probably had his easiest shot of the 3 and didn't manage to get it in, but Mitch does get it in the end. And I mean, I'm gonna say it now. I said it before, and I'll say it again. There really is 3 teams that have a chance of winning that $8,000 prize now.
There's Colsey. Oh, almost finding another one there. This Yelly player yet to find a goal so far for St. Francis. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he'll be able to get one in this series, but they won't care. They don't mind. It has been an absolute blowout, 7-2. St. Francis get the job done, and Temple Christian College suffer their first loss of the season.
Oh, they're going to be smiling. Mitch Krakis and Ali is going to be absolutely smiling with their 7 goals total in that game. And Colsey was just solid at the back, and a lot of assists from Colsey, and just really, really good positioning as well. And they're a top side. I mean, there's just no doubt about it now. They are a top side, and I am genuinely just shocked that Temple just did not show up that series. If St. Francis were going to win it, I thought, yeah, a couple of overtimes that give themselves a chance. They were just magnificent, St. Francis, and absolutely deserved the win. And as I said before, they win that, they're in the playoffs. I don't think there's any doubt that they're in the playoffs now.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, it was just a stunning performance from St. Francis all around. Everything was just on point. Just the assisting, defensive callbacks, everything they needed to do was beautiful. And I feel like for Temple City, the Ghost Squad, it's almost a good thing, a loss in a sense in one of these situations, because maybe you need a wake-up call. Maybe you've been playing a few easier teams down towards the bottom, and all of a sudden you get routed like that 7-2. It's not a great feeling, but it's also one when you think about it, you don't want to feel that again. So you want to be making sure, all right, we need to go back. We need to make sure that we look at what went wrong, what went right, improve on that. They still are a very good squad. You don't get to being 10-1 without playing some very good Rocket League. But this one is a wake-up call. Full credit to St. Francis. I mean, it was just brilliant. Fantastic to watch. They won't quite move into the top 4, I don't think. That was, again, be outside it, but they've done it. They've beaten one of those top 4 teams, and they have done it in emphatic style.
Yeah, and I mean, we were saying at the start, I said at the start of the game that they were looking a bit too comfortable, Temple. They'd played a lot of lower sides and were looking a bit comfortable in their attacking play, and didn't realise that when they're playing against a team that's actually able to attack decently, they just couldn't find a way to defend, and they really, really pounced on them and played really, really well in that series. And I mean, we got another big series to come with TRSC Lismore High Yellow versus Southern Cross Gold. So we've got a gold versus yellow coming up next.
Well, usually one goes in front of the other wins-wise, but you never know. But yes, we will be jucking to a quick break, guys. When we return, that game to come up. We've got a few more series to follow throughout the day as well. Congratulations to St. Francis for that win. We will see all of you guys in a bit. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to the 2022 Acer High School Cup Term 4. The Rocket League section, of course. I'm with Foxy, and mate, we've had some banging games again this week, and well, the next one is also an interesting one as well, because we've got one team that is sort of, well, battling to stay in the contention for that final spot, Southern Cross Gold, up against, a Lismore High Yellow team that has, had some wins here and there. In fact, they were 3-1 to start the season, but are currently facing a 6-game losing streak and looking to try and break that at the moment.
Yeah, this is their chance to get back into that and to really give themselves a good win, especially on stream. You always want to win on stream, and Southern Cross need to win this one themselves to give themselves any chance of playoff contention. So it's pretty much they're gonna all guns blazing straight away get into this game and try to make it a quick 2-0. But Lismore, don't count them out, and especially with being on a stream game, they're 100% gonna try and show their teachers and show all their mates that they really can play this game. And this will be a lot closer than the scoreboard suggests.
Well, that's what we're always hoping for any of these games here. But yeah, I mean, for Southern Cross Gold, this is especially, big for them, because they want to be playing finals as with anyone in this sort of league here, and they need to realistically win this one today, because they go down, it's pretty much all hopes over. Win today puts them back up towards that 9th position. They'll probably need the GCS, the Sweaty Fellas squad to go down in one of those games, or the Bookie Boys, possibly Portland, and it's a lot of teams in front of them need to make mistakes. But at the same time, look, they just need to win. They've won 5 of their last 6. They've been in pretty good form. They'll be hoping to try and get that, or just keep rolling for that one today. And we should be getting into this game rather soon. I think we're just waiting on
So I've got some interesting news for you. I've got some interesting news just come in.
Was this a 2v2?
It's a 2v2. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, that technically works. We weren't expecting to cast 2v2s. We have a 2v3. We've had 3v3s. Yeah, welcome to the duos stream for this one, guys, I guess. So that means that all the players are in and ready to go, I'm assuming, because there are 6 of us waiting. 2 of us are being casted, the other 2 on each one's being players. So wasn't expecting that, but, sometimes things just work in magical ways, and we will be seeing a lovely one for this. So, Lismore High Campus on your left, it's Southern Cross Catholic College on the right. Foxy, let's get this one underway in a beautiful 2v2 format.
Yeah, I mean, it gives a better chance for the upset as well, because you do see a lot more openings. However, with 2 players missing, you just don't know which players are missing. It could be their captains, it could be their best player, so who knows what's going to happen straight away as the side in blue, Lismore, do get themselves an early start. So, I mean, we're saying that Southern Cross have to get off to a good start, and they haven't done that. It's 1-0.
Yeah, Lismore will grab the first one there. Take themselves a 1-0 lead. Now the pressure's on them. They're the team that are still fighting for finals contention. Lismore, it's more about, breaking the losing streak, getting some wins, having some fun. As it was it all in the end, at least we're all having fun. And definitely makes it a lot interesting with this 2v2 format. Whether these teams have actually played in duos a lot will be interesting to see, and who can take control of that. But there's going to be a lot more open goals, a lot more opportunities to get scores going. It's not going to be as fluent as some might have been, but hey, we'll see how she falls down. It's going to be another attacking foray, which almost falls right in the back of the net there from Upex. Again towards the middle. Again, it's Flocka coming in flying just a little bit too late as Poe is put down. And it's 1-0 as we've just gone over the 1-minute mark for this one.
Yeah, you'll realise that the game is a lot slower in 2s as well. And not only is it a lot slower, but it's a little bit more... I'll use the word sloppy, not gameplay-wise, but just it can be a bit weird and awkward, and to get back into. There's a lot of 2v1s, and it definitely becomes.
Oh no!
His own player's knocked him, and then his own player's knocked him on the other end. Surely a goal coming in. It's missing. Oh wow! And I just said it's sloppy, and that's exactly what we're getting. It's 1-1.
Well, that was a calamity of errors, and it's ended with Southern Cross equalising this one up at 1 apiece. It was, it should have been Lismore High Campus taking a 2-0 lead, to be frankly honest, and both players hit each other, both Southern Cross players hit each other, but in the end the ball will find the back of the net, and we're tied at 1-1.
I like the Mew, the profile picture from Floku. I like the Mew. Some good profile pictures from some of these players that I've realised the last week or so. I recognise profile pictures more than I recognise names. If it was up to me, I'd just name everybody by their profile picture.
I mean, that always works in some way. Unfortunately, I can't actually see the profile pictures. I'm assuming I've got them off on the side. I don't have the beautiful side camera work that you do on the end there. But as it stands here, 1 apiece, gone just towards halfway of this game here as Flocker's trying to get this one moving towards the other direction, but Poe the intercepting towards the middle, and a beautiful shot there from Poe, and Lismore High Campus retake the lead 2-1. Waiting off towards the centre, just gets enough on it to put it past Upex, who was a second too late coming off the wall. And again, Lismore lead 2-1, just before halfway gone, and again the pressure on Southern Cross to get a reply.
Yeah, we haven't seen many console players this tournament so far, but I was going to say he's playing half decent for a console player that he does that, but it is a lot harder to play on console. I'll give it that. There's a lot of, stigma around console players and all that, and it is a harder game to play on console. So anybody who can play on console and play it well, I tip my hat to them, as we just hit 2-2 with 2-2-2 left on the clock.
So Upex again bringing this one down the middle. A perfect one to set up for Flocko. Unfortunately, he's missed it. Open goal down the other end. Poe can't quite get this one going. Running out of boost. Will collect that 100. Looking towards the centre here. Just a bit too skyward, and Upex will be able to get the clearance there with Flocko. Zach looking to try and take that one away again, but Upex with the clearance on this one, almost rolling that towards that bottom left corner. Poe will be there to intercept, but Upex again towards the middle. Flocko, he will not miss that one. And the lead is taken by Southern Cross Catholic College for the first time today. As Flocko, the boost was there. The speed, the accuracy, it all came together. And with a minute 49, all of a sudden Lismore find themselves trailing for the first time.
That's a big goal in terms of momentum for this series, and you can definitely see the Flockers really starting to turn it on and really try to give themselves a chance at playoffs. As Upex tries to get a shot off there, it hits the post, comes back to Flocku, somehow got a shot on that. I'm very surprised as he was in such an awkward position, but Upex has done well here because he's managed to get himself back and put some pressure on the ball, but he's missed the ball, and it ends up 3-3. And all of a sudden, we're back to even. 1:22 to go, and Upex isn't happy with that, as you can see by the chat.
Yeah, sometimes you're going to miss a couple of things here and there. You don't want to be doing it when you're up 3-2 in a game this close, in a game that really will be deciding whether you're playing finals or not. In a lot of senses, but Flocku with the immediate response there, straight off the kickoff. Gets the boost, the side swipe there. Zach, I think got a slight tap, but not expected at all there. And Poe, all he can do is watch it fly over his head. 4-3, the immediate take back of the lead.
That's a big goal right there, because it became 3-3. They started to get a bit nervous, and Upex was, spamming in chat because he did not like that mistake. But Flocku just says, "Here, I'll help you." Gets the goal back, and all of a sudden it's 4-3, 1 minute to go on the clock, and Poe really has to start to get this ball up there, give themselves a chance. That one goes in front of goal, but Zach wasn't there for it. It was the right decision. And Flocku would just hold on to the ball, which he does well. It's more time wasting. If he gets past Poe here, it would have been a huge chance. Chance for Poe, couldn't quite get to the ball in time, and Upex does well that time to get rid of it with 35 seconds to go. 4-3, pressure's on.
Zach Stuck spinning in air there as again Poe trying to bring this one forward, and knocked up there from Flocku. Poe coming over the top, but Upex just getting enough of a hit on it to take it away. Zach looking to see if he can get it centered for his teammates, and Flocku will go over the top of that one. Zach trying to dribble this one forward, but Upex takes it away. Has a chance to take it downfield. Poe manages to put it skyward, but 15 seconds are running out of time. It needs to be down the other end right now for Lismore. And here comes Zach. The knock up here. Can he get this falling forward for Poe? We'll get this one towards goal. Upex. Zach has an open looker there, but Upex gets back. Oh, I didn't think he had the boost available, but it should be enough to get the job done. And Southern Cross Catholic College, it was a tough road, but a road that they were able to get through. And they lead the series 1-0.
Well, they've done well under pressure there because they really, really were put on pressure there from Lismore, and there's still potentially 2 more games to go, but they really put themselves under pressure there and still managed to find a way, especially Mr. Mew profile pitcher Flocku found a way to get through and get that win, put themselves 1-0, and maybe that just puts a little bit of pressure off their shoulders.
Well, that is what they'd be hoping for. Lismore High, they've definitely shown that they've got a chance in this game. A couple of nice goals. They led for more than half the game as well before Southern Cross were able to retake the lead. This one just continues to, well, I mean, raising eyebrows to begin with on a few fronts, considering it's a 2v2. A close game as well. And both sides are giving it their absolute all right now. Southern Cross now 1 win away from going to a 7-4 record, keeping pace with the top 8 with 1 week remaining after this. They know it's a big possibility, and they want to keep it rolling as we get this second game underway.
Shows how competitive this league is when 7-4 you're still in trouble to not get into the playoffs. You really, really need to win a lot of your games to get into the playoffs. There's a lot of good teams in the upper bracket of the group stage and who are going to end up with like 10 wins, 11 wins out of 20 by the end of the season. As Upex gets himself a goal. It's 1-0, 30 seconds in, and that's better from Upex.
Beautifully guided off the wall there. The knock-in. Poe did what he could, but just there a fraction too late. Couldn't get any sort of stoppage on that one. And Southern Cross, have they finally settled? And they start to take control of this 2v2 game. And what have Lismore High Campus got for us? Now it's an old goal immediately. Doesn't look like that's going to be happening because Poe has something to say about it right there. Flocku just didn't get the clearance he was looking for. It falls back towards the goal. Poe pounces immediately on that mistake. Upex not ready for any sort of defense there. And we're tied at 1 apiece, just like that.
Yeah, that's the problem with medium tier 2s games, is that you get these little mistakes that create openings, and the difference is when you see those mistakes, you pounce on them. And Upex has 2 already in this game, and those mistakes from both teams are starting to pounce up.
Well, that's, I think, the thing as well with the 2v2. You just, with those mistakes, they're a lot more profound.
Yep.
You will see them. You don't have that, usually with the 3s, you have that sort of, the secondary, you have someone there to back you up. Yeah. In this instance, not too much, and unfortunately, Zach missed that push through there, and there could be another chance here. Poe, he doesn't have the boost, and it just can't get enough as Upex will get that one away. Zach with the interception in the middle, but Upex and Flocku will start to take this one away. It set it actually pretty nicely, and coming up the top, Poe. Poe and Upex seem to be the 2 that are controlling their teams here. Also the captains of both sides as well. And then it becomes really down to Flocku and Zach, which one of these 2 can perform when needed to, as we tick down to 3:30, and this might be an opportunity for Upex flying through, but Zach does enough to control the ball, take it through the middle. We'll be able to take that boost there. But it's just still anyone's game at the moment.
Yeah, what's scary at the moment is that Flocku hasn't done a lot in game 2, but yet they're still ahead, whereas Flocku scored 4 goals in the previous game and they got through. So if Flocku all of a sudden gets into it, scores a goal, puts himself into this game 2, they're going to be in trouble to get back into it. So Flocku just needs a goal, and all of a sudden 3-1 would be very, very hard to come back into. But I mean, they're trying their best, especially Poe, to get attacking plays in to get themselves back into this series. And here comes Flocku as he goes straight in that ball. Upex might be able to get a pass off here. It goes up and Poe gets rid of it, try to go off the other end and create a counter-attack to get themselves back into this series as Zach puts it over to the side. Upex gets a knock onto it. All of a sudden, we're playing ping pong as that one does
beautiful.
go in. 2-2, back in.
That is fantastic stuff from Bo. The dribble with himself, knock over the top, and an open goal beckon. And Poe was not going to be missing that one any day of the week as we come down. It's halfway through this second game, tied at 2 apiece. Southern Cross again, they find themselves in a difficult situation.
That was a boost difference as well, especially in twos. You realise how much boost is important. And there was only one player with boost on the field there, that was Poe. And that's how he was able to get that, is that because of the ping pong play, nobody was able to get any boost. It put them in trouble. 2-2, and here's a chance for Upex, and he does get the hat trick. He had no goals in the first game, and he's got a hat trick here to put them back in the lead. And every time that Lismore find a way to equalise, Southern Cross just say, no, we'll take the lead back.
That they have 3-2 now. The scoreline reads. It's Poe and Flocker go at this one. It's going to be Flocker who's going to take this away off the restart. Open goal might beckon as well as Zach missing that one first. There at Upex coming from 3 deep. Just a nudge on that right side of the ball and Poe can do nothing in the goals. Good angle. Just enough bounce there to get it over the top of Poe, and now a 4-2 lead, a 2-goal buffer. Is this enough to send Southern Cross through with a 2-0 victory?
Well, that's the difference in this game too, is that when there is mistakes, the Upex is bouncing on it. He's just pouncing straight away, getting it, and getting that huge shot that matters. Whereas openings are coming far and few between on the side of Lismore, but they've just got to take him. If they can get an opening before, we'll say, 30 seconds left on the clock and get themselves back into this game, they've got a chance. As Flocko misses that one, there's the opening. Poe does score. He gets a hat trick in this game, 1:41 to go, and that's exactly it. Just get an opening, put yourself into a chance, and that one was actually ghost hit, by the way. And, I mean, still a chance, 1:41 to go. There's still so much to go in this game too.
Yeah, still plenty of time for either of these teams to find themselves another goal, another team, another lead, another change of one. It all really comes down to who can just create the most chances and who doesn't make the mistakes when it comes down to those pivotal moments. As Upex going to be clearing this one away from the defensive end here of Southern Cross, and now Lismore out towards the middle. Poe will be back there to intercept this one, but Upex still bringing this one forward. Knock up there. Flocku will get knocked away there from Zach, and now it's an open goal at the other end. Poe leading it away, just doesn't get the angle he would have wanted on that one. Leaves it a bit more open. It's still sitting up towards the one there. Flocku, Upex, not quite. Poe again setting this one up, but now the other way. They're open for what could have been a counter, but Poe will intercept. 1 minute remaining. He is desperately trying to find the back of the net and get them back on even terms, and that's what he does. Poe, he is dragging Lismore back into this one. It's 4 apiece with 54 seconds remaining.
And now Upex saying uh-oh, because they realise they're going to find another goal. And, I mean, the thing is that Floku scored 4 goals in the first game. And with 52 seconds to go, I just got a feeling that he's got some type of play in him to get themselves the win here. I really do. And here's the chance to get a pass off. But Poe, who's been on fire this entire series, has got a chance to take the lead!
A 2-goal lead has been completely erased and replaced with a 1-goal advantage here to Lismore High Campus. They led in the first game for moments. They were overwhelmed at the end of the first one, but now this is their opportunity. 5-4, 38 seconds. Can they even this at 1 apiece in this series? As the ball will be going down their end. Upex, what have you got for us? Him and Flocku. As Poe again the intercept in towards the middle. Upex this time the intercept, but Poe is playing out of his skin. Zach though, oh, it's a miss towards there. Could have been brought forward. 20 seconds remaining. They get this attacking play. Flocku's got this one down towards the middle. Misses the side swipe. And now Zach, the knock up to Poe. Poe, 100 boost now as well. 10 seconds remaining. Looking to try and just get this one done. A little kick over the top, but he doesn't need to do much. Just intercept. Zach does it. 3 seconds. There is just no time left. And Lismore are taking us to a third and deciding game.
You want to play some more twos? Let's play some more twos. And what a second game we've had there. We've had 2 games that were a goal the difference, 2 games with many a lead change beyond belief, and Poe has just been on fire for that game too, but not only game 2, but game 1 as well. He's had 7 goals total, and is definitely I hate to say the word carry, but definitely the top player of this Lismore side.
Zach's kind of the apprentice that's being led around and shown how to. So basically, when you with this hammer, you want to hail and knock on this one, and when you get the boost, you want to fly up in the sky.
Yep, hit ball is what I always say. And here we go, game 3. We've had close ones. This one's gonna be a bit scary. I hate to say it, but there's gonna be weird mistakes and awkwardness. But who's going to take their chances when they get them?
At the end of the day, as long as it's a good scoreline, I don't think anyone cares about how it's got there. As Zach is going to be sending this one up the top for Poe, who puts it across the face. Couldn't quite get the angle. Almost an instant goal there for Lismore High, who are playing with such confidence right now. They were down 4-2. It looked like the game was over in the second. All of a sudden, 3 goals in a row. And a few seconds later, and they're all on top. And Poe finds the first for this one. Southern Cross Catholic College have lost the plot down the front end completely right now, as Poe will take that one away. And the ramifications being so high, a loss here means their finals bout is completely done for Lismore. Well, I'm saying this right now, the losing streak, it may be ending right here, right now.
If they keep playing like this, it definitely will. And I think the reason why is because Poe really has... Oh, that's a bang, and that's in as well. I was about to say, he's really changed the way that he was playing from game 1, where he's being that back man to make sure that he's helping Zach with attacks from his opponents. And because of that, Poe is able to save those somewhat easier saves that Zach mightn't be able to get to. Poe is there for, and because of that, there's no more easy goals. They have to find a way to get through, and this is how they're going to get through. Is that when they get their chances like this, they've got to score them, and they do. And that's what I mean. That they've got to, if they get past Poe, and Poe is out of position, they've got to find the goal, and Poe nearly gets back onto that one. Doesn't quite, but they've got to recognise that Poe is definitely the better player. If you get past him, go straight towards goal. It's 2-1, they're back in it.
I was going to say, Zach was doing some nice circle work there on the ball as that one was put away, but 2-1, 3:52 left on the clock, and Poe again trying to bring this one forward. Him and Upex, they're sort of the mainstays in this one. Which one can perform for their teams? There's again the centre one there. Upex can't quite finish it off, and now Poe looking to take this down the other way. Flocker will be back on defence and misses the first intercept, but Upex back again to help out his teammate Zach. Staying towards the middle here. He'll be able to just play around with Flocker, who's just doing a nice bit of dribbling, and it works wonders for Upex, who comes in over the top, the knock in, and we are tied at 2 apiece.
I tell you what, it's like they're listening to the stream, because they actually took Poe out of position. They waited and waited, knowing that Zach was coming back and that Poe was left by himself. So they waited until Poe put himself forward, and then when he did, all of a sudden he was in no man's land. 2-2. They really, really need to clutch up, and that's what they're doing at the moment after being 2-0 down. They've got themselves back into it. If they want to get into playoffs, this is their chance. They've got to win this game.
So many ramifications if they do drop this one here, as now Poe again taking this one away on the right side. It'll be Zach who gets the destruction in a 2v2 situation. Those destructs are huge just to stop any sort of attacking momentum, and also on the other sense when you're going in for your own attacks, just being able to have that extra number. And now Zach's got an open goal coming in towards the left. The ball rolls towards it. Upex will get back. It's not the greatest centre at third because he puts it right to Poe. And that is a lead taken back for Lismore High campus. Upex sets up his rival as Flocky went over the top. Poe didn't even have to move it, just almost fell on him, gets an angle on it, and they take the lead back 3-2.
It was the demo that made that play. I don't think Upex realised that his teammate was demoed as well, because he's demoed a player, heard the demo noise, and then realised, oh no, my teammate demoed as well. So when he hit it into the corner thinking his teammate was there to clear it, he wasn't there. And now, Poe, see, that's the difference between game one, is that Poe's are being backed to make sure that no mistake like that happens and no opening happens.
Still
Whereas
isn't
it goes
all.
up in the air here, Upex doesn't quite get to it, and Poe should be able to get rid of it for now.
Blocker the intercept in towards the middle. He'll be joined over there from the left side with Zach again. It's actually a nice center. Upex, oh, it's just a bit wide on that one, but they're keeping it down in their attacking half. They need to find a goal here. As Upex towards the middle, Poe playing the goalkeeper right now, puts it out wide towards Zach, who will be able to get this one rolling forward again. And a nice one setting up towards here, leaves it in that right corner. Upex will get back towards it, but he's put it again back towards where Poe's sitting. He's looking to try and get this one centered. Try and get this rolling back towards forward. Another goal here, 4-2. And we've seen when teams have gotten leads, it hasn't always stuck, but you'll take him anyway. 4-2. Poe gets himself another goal. And Lismore High College, they are doing it right now. Southern Cross Catholic, they need 2 goals in a minute 40 just to even it up. Well, their finals hopes are out the window.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's smart from Zach. Zach set up that goal because he put it into that corner, and they have to get it out of there. And if they do get it out of there, Poe was sitting there waiting to create a play from it. So Zach's noticed that they're struggling in that corner. So if he can get it into that spot, it really puts them under pressure. Zach overdoes that one, but it's not going to go in unless Flocku can get away, and that's well done. That's well done. Good positioning, knowing that the only thing it was going to do was sandwich off the wall. And there's a minute to go on the clock. They've got to turn around. They've got to get boost. And they've got to go now because they're running out of time. Zach does well there to slow the ball.
Oh.
He's really done well to slow the ball there to get Poe back onto it. He's done really well, and that's brilliant from Zach to make sure that Poe is able to get back, slow down the ball, take another 15 seconds off the clock. That's the best play we've seen from Zach today because he's been able to slow down the ball and make sure his teammate has gotten back into it, and there's more time off the clock because of it.
Oh, and he
All of a sudden,
uses
30
it
seconds to
perfectly.
go.
Oh.
Poe wins it.
That was actually fantastic. Poe, he just knew that Zach just gets that little knock up just before that all happened. It caught Upex completely off guard. Poe puts it away, and that is Southern Cross Catholic College done for this one. Lismore High will break the losing streak. They will take this series. Unless in this 30 seconds, Southern Cross kick themselves 3 goals. And I'm all to see some goals in quick succession. I don't think it's going to be happening here. Poe, Zach, oh, that one falling back that side. Not exactly what you want to be doing on defense there. As Flocko again, the center, but Upex got flat-footed. Poe will find himself number 6 for Lismore. It has been a fantastic showing. 6 goals, 10,000 points. Or 1,000 points, I should say. And what a game it has been. And Southern Cross's finals hopes have come to a faltering halt.
Yeah, the longer that the series went, the more that Poe started to change his positioning in accordance to the way that the series was being played. And at the end of the day, Lismore find a way from being 1-0 down and looking out of it. Poe found a way to change the way that they played it. And all of a sudden, Zach became more of a nuisance because of it. And instead of going around for the ball, he was going around for the position. Did well with the position and what he was given to him. And they ended up winning 6-2 in Game 3 and pretty much a drubbing because of it. Well done from Zach. Well done from Poe. Well done from Lismore.
Yeah, no, just fantastic stuff all around. Southern Cross. Yeah, just unfortunate. I mean, they had an opportunity to get that one done. But we rethinking, I mean, well, up 4-2. 2-goal advantage in that second game. About a minute 20 left on the clock. It was there for the taking. It was all theirs. And then, well, Poe just came alive. Went bananas with 3 in the space of 40, 50 seconds. They hold on for the rest of it. And then they just took the momentum into the last game. There was just nothing that the Southern Cross guys could do. I mean, they had opportunities, but it was just Poe being able to jump on any mistakes that they had. and just basically just being able to run the floor. Upex did what he could, but it just wasn't enough. And, well, I do believe Southern Cross were missing, I believe the last thing it was said, that their captain, which always hurts, but in the end, it was just Lismore on top. They deserved the win. They were fantastic in the game, and they do break that losing streak. So they take their 4th win of the season. Stopped the losing streak at 6, unfortunately. On the other side of things, the Southern Cross Gold, they will fall to 6-5, and that pretty much wraps up their season. Finals-wise, they'll still, of course, have the next game next week and hopefully find a win to end there, but yeah, that one's going to hurt for a while.
Yeah. And speaking of which, we probably have a match of the week, in my opinion, coming up with 2 teams that have only lost once in the season. One of them that we've seen earlier today, Greenpoint Christian College, who found a massive win earlier. Now they find themselves a chance to beat Linwood, who are also only on 1 loss this season, and that comes up just after the break.
Should be an absolute cracker to finish us off for the day. So when we return, guys, that's what you got coming up. Should be, well, the game of the day, as we've said. Should be, whether or not as. We've seen some pretty good games today. So you never know, but we will be back right after this break, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, guys. Hope we're doing well. It's the 2022 Acer High School Cup Term 4, our final game of the day here for the Rocket League. I'm with Foxy and mate. Well, we've had some games. We've had a 2v2, we've had a 2v3, we've had close games, a couple of small blowouts here and there, but, well, what we've got now should be, what we were saying before we went to the break, the game of the day. And that is saying something, considering we did have the Ghosts and De La Salle, who were sitting at 2nd and 5th respectively. This time it sort of swept around the order. These teams were actually sitting above and below a few of these ones, but now it's the second place Brass Squad 12-1 up against Linwood Senior High School sitting at 11-1. So both these squads only one loss between them. Oh, sorry, 2 losses between the two of them, and a lot of wins.
Yeah, and not only that, but now Greenpoint have to play against 3 players. We saw earlier today the 3v2 where Greenpoint played against two players who tried their best to get over the line but couldn't quite, and now they're playing a 3v3 against a side that are looking not only playoff bound but definitely at least semi-finals bound. And this game here is a big showing of what the playoffs is going to be like in terms of not only skill, but this will be big bragging rights coming into playoff as well for these two teams.
Absolutely. I mean, this should just be an absolute banger. So Brass, of course, the only game that they've lost was against the, I believe it was, yes, it was the Ghost Squad, who just lost their first game today. So, again, the only team they've lost to is one of the top 4. It's always close on that one. It almost puts it into a little bit of perspective, according to one of those things where it's just, if you have the smallest of off days, you will be punished. Because, again, these are teams that are up there for a reason. And the only team Linwood have lost to were, of course, our leaders, Newstead College, who they seem to be just the final boss juggernaut. They seem to have no weaknesses on that side at the moment. They have carved through every team that they have played from top to bottom, no matter who it is. So the fact that the only team they've lost to their Linwood is them says a lot to themselves as well. They've gone through everyone besides the very, very top on that side. So, I didn't realise we started the game.
Fat Red Panda starts off straight away. At 1-0 before we even realised it was just
the game was actually going, which it is.
It was just an instant instant counter up the other end. It's 1-0. I hadn't realised you hadn't even changed the.
No, that's all good. Well, we've missed a goal there, guys. I actually hadn't realised I hadn't even changed the the school names, the overlay stuff. That's on me. I've been caught a little off guard on that one, but well, we'll get those ones switched up pretty quickly here. And again, I mean, goal like that, just as it is, that's the kind of goals we're going to be seeing in this kind of game, where it's just instantaneous Rocket League. And well, for the Greenpoint guys, not a great start when you're considering their first time they're going up against a team which has 3 players today. That one's going to hurt a little, but, sometimes you'll let one slip through early. It's as long as by the end of the game, you have that lead, and they're up 2-0, and all of a sudden, just like that, things are going pretty hectic. I mean, up against a 3v3, they seem to be playing even better.
Yeah, good start. They've really put themselves in with a good chance here. I would have definitely put the boys in blue as favourites into this one, but what a start from the lads who not only had to play against 2 players earlier, but have won every game they've played today so far, including the ones off stream, and have really been looking good to be a chance at this tournament. And the way that they're playing here, there's no doubt that they definitely put themselves in a good shot at that. Chances that's an own goal. Matthew does very well to put it into an awkward position. The player from Dynasty manages to put it in a good position. Fat Red Panda just puts it into his own net, but you can't blame him for that one because he was on rotation. Just hits the front of his car. It's 2-1. Greenpoint got themselves back into it. I mean, Linwood have got themselves back into it. Silly me.
One of the teams, I mean, you never really
Yeah,
out of
one
it,
of them.
especially when the scoreline's sitting this close at the moment. Sabrek's going to miss that one in the middle. Will be jumped back on the other side there from Crispy Bacon as it's going to be taken away from Matthew again. Aqua the single in here. Matthias coming in from the top, just doesn't quite have what was left in there. Again, another top one flying through Matthew. Red Fat Panda will take away from that one there as Aqua down towards the middle. Crispy Bacon will get the intercept flowing through. But 2-1 as it sits right now, and it's been playing a bit more here for Linwood in their and for their front half as they start to clear, and Matthew will try and get this one falling away from them. As well, 2 minutes 48, we're ticking down towards halfway, and it is still a 2-1 lead here for Greenpoint Christian College.
Yeah, and they're definitely starting to turn themselves around now. Linwood, they're playing a lot better than what they were at the start. Their rotation's fixed. Matthew's playing a lot better. Definitely put himself into this series. He's trying to get a dribble here. He's got this. He's got this for sure. And that is well played, but well saved by Saber, who finds a way. As Aqua gets that over to Matthew. Oh, it just hits the crossbar. It comes back, and now all of a sudden counterattack up the other end. But Matthew should get there in time, and he does. What a pass! Crispy Bacon! 3-1.
Huge from Fat Red Panda. He actually read that incredibly well because he was just waiting for Matthew to go for that airwood. He bumps it down on towards him, has the centering ball, and Crispy Bacon, the easiest goal he's ever going to get, 3-1. And Greenpoint, it looked for all money, was about to be evened up. Matthew somehow saved from Sabrex on the other one, and then he hits the crossbar. You can't be missing shots like that, especially in a game this big. When it's coming down to, like, this is just pretty much getting ranking set up for finals for these two squads. Again, Matthew flying in from the dob, and this time it's Crispy Bacon with a beautiful save.
Very smart from this side as well, because they know that Matthew's their best player. So when Matthew's got a chance on ball, they definitely look to be defending a bit more than what they would against the other two. You can tell there's always two players back when Matthew's going for a shot, because he's able to do plays like that. That's a big, big difference, because then they can create counterattacks from this when Matthew's committed to the play, and you can definitely see that it's working at the moment. They're 3-1 up with 120 to go. There's a minor upset on the cards here, as these two teams are the former grand finalists of Term 2, so they definitely know how to play.
That they do, and again off the top of the crossbar. The second time that's happened for Linwood. It is just not their game at the moment. Still down the 2 with a minute remaining. They've had the opportunities. They just somehow have not been able to find the back of the net for a second time. And they just need to keep holding on here to Greenpoint Christian College. They've got that lead. Can they maintain it? 45 seconds left on the clock as they look to go forward. Aqua will send him in the middle, but Crispy Bacon will take over the swap there with no boost available. Matthew puts that one in the center. Again, has to collect towards the other side, but this time Fat Red Panda taking it away. Aqua has to fall back. They're just trying to get this ball rolling forward, but as long as it stays in the middle, that's all that Greenpoint Christian College want from this one. 20 seconds and counting. This is going to be really tough. They need to find 2 in quick succession, and they're just not getting any opportunity to get it towards goal.
They didn't do much with the ball for 50 seconds there, but they did enough that it took so much time off the clock that it's impossible for a comeback now. They just took time off the clock. They time wasted it. They played it brilliantly, and they're going to win game 1.
That they will. The ball will fall down towards the earth. Matthew keeps in the air for as long as he can possibly, but now it will hit the ground. No, still Skywood. Not that the scoreline can really change from here. And now it will fall. So Greenpoint will take the first game win there. They lead 1-0. But I've got to say, I mean, it was a close game all the same. And in the end, Linwood ended up having more shots, 7-4. And I should say 6-4, but just couldn't quite find in the back of the net. It was almost bizarre how they didn't. It was just, they somehow didn't get their second. And it's just, well, sometimes the ball just doesn't fall in your favour. And that is a pretty keen example of that one there.
Yeah, Crispy Bacon, not only with the goals there in that game, but with those saves as well that were hitting the crossbar and going in, and just brilliantly played to get themselves that they needed that win. In my opinion, that just put so much momentum onto them and put so much pressure on Linwood side to get a win. Knowing, I mean, I know Matthew quite a bit. He doesn't like to lose. He doesn't like losing games in series, and it just puts a lot of... That's a good save! As Crispy Bacon gets credited with it, but it's a good save from Fat Red Panda and his teammate as well, who just managed to get rid of it. That one will go in from Matthew, who sneaks it into the side. I said he doesn't like to lose, and he's going to make sure that he gets himself back into it with probably the best goal we've seen today.
Well, that's what you call working the angles. A beautiful shot there from Matthew. He is the leading figure there for Linwood Senior High School, and he's trying to get them back into this series. Down 1-0. They're up 1-0 in this game, at least, as Panda's going to be bringing this one forward over the top, away from the goals there. Sabrix trying to take that one in towards the middle. Matthew again looking towards that side, gets the knock on from that first one, falls in towards the middle, but Crispy Bacon back for that one. Matthias will miss the initial shot, but Aqua there to do the clearance. Back and forth, just any slight opportunity given. All of these players just looks like they're going to be putting it in the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It's just that's the problem that they've got, is just it looks like every shot that Matthew gets is going into the net. And here's another one, and that's brilliantly dribbled. Nobody back on that one as they're coming back on rotation. And Matthew's on fire now as the overcommit came in. Nobody was back, and it's completely changed from game one, because instead of having two players back to stop Matthew, they went 1-0 down, and panic stations just completely went in. They realised, oh, we're going to have to score a goal at some stage in this game now. And they've realised, oh no, Matthew's open. It's 2-0. And if it stays like this, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more goals from Matthew, because they're going to have to start attacking, and that's going to allow openings.
Well, that's sort of the double-edged sword you have to take. I mean, if you want to score goals, you got to attack. But when you leave someone like Matthew open to allow him to have a lot more opportunities, as you were saying, it was a lot more of those in the last one where they were able to have two back on defense. But right now, Linwood Senior High School are all over this game here. Aqua will find his first. And 3-0 all of a sudden. Greenpoint Christian College, I mean, look, still plenty of time in this game. 3:25. They can turn this one around. It's just in doing so, you know, you've got to put so much into the attacking forays. Yeah. Can you actually get that without giving up any more goals? And that's always the tough one. And the way it's looking, I'm going to feel like it's probably a no.
It changes the perspective of the game just so much, those 3 goals. If it's 0-0 at this stage, you can play it differently. But you allow so many openings, because you've got to find 3 goals at some stage in this game. And, I mean, the way that Matthew's been playing, not only this game, but in game 1 as well, the way that the entire team is playing now, but especially Matthew, they've got to find 3 goals, but they've got to try and not concede as well. Good luck.
It's Crispy trying to send him one back towards the middle. It's going to be falling back towards the defensive end here for Greenpoint College. They've had a few opportunities, but realistically, there hasn't been anything of too much success so far. Again, looking to bring that one through with Matthias, and now it's sort of fallen down to where they can have the 2 back on defense here for the side of Linwood. They don't need to be doing too many attacking forays. Just wait for a mistake to come through from the side there of Greenpoint College, and it's Linwood who find their 4th. Aqua with his 2nd. And there it is. You make one mistake, and that is just all taken away. Crispy just hits the top, gives just a slight opportunity. And when it's these 2 teams, a slight opportunity usually turns into a goal.
I mean, that's the 3-0 factor right there. You're 3-0 down. You've got to find a way to get into it, and it allows openings. And see, that's the Matthew factor right there, is he's able to get through players so easily and get openings, and now they're just kind of bullying him. And I think at this stage we can pretty safely say that we're going to see a game 3. And I said this would be match of the day, and game 3 is going to be massive as Matthew gets another one on the board. We know he can do that. We know he's good at it. It's 5-0. We've seen plenty of it so far this tournament. Wonderful air dribble.
It'll be interesting to see when we do switch over towards that game 3 whether or not Greenpoint maybe play a bit more defensive, just stay on that 2-1 rotation, even if it just allows them to be 0-0, try and play some more counter-attacking Rocket League. Because it's just been a fantastic display and a huge response here from Linwood. when you look, they lost that first game 1-3, and you know they had the opportunities to get back into it, but just missed out on them. And it was full credit to the side of Greenpoint. They caught them off guard with some fantastic goals of their own, but they've just unfortunately not been able to replicate any of that in this second game. As again, another attacking throwaway here from Linwood. Again, Fat Red Panda will get that clearance, but it's just not falling into any sort of attacks of their own. And sitting at 5-0, a minute 10 left on the clock. This game pretty much over. Unless we, well, I mean, we've seen how quickly some goals have been scored today, but when you've got a defense like Linwood that's just on point where they don't have to, you know, have players flying forward a lot of the time, you're just not going to be getting anywhere.
Yeah, it's the difference in game sense. There's no way that they're going to concede 5 goals in this, because even if they concede 1, all of a sudden they're just going to slow down the clock, and that's what they're doing here. Just slow down the clock. Just make the clock go as fast as possible. Just make it completely over. And Matthew does well there. 6-0. The best part about this was he knocked one of his opponents out of the way in the process of doing that. Fat Red Panda had no chance at it because of it. Saberx couldn't get there. 6-0. And you were saying before that, do they sit back and leave it 0-0? And I mean, I hate the old cliche, but the first goal in the next game is just so important, because if they go 1-0 down, all of a sudden it just completely throws that strategy out the window.
Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it? Because you want to attack, because you know you need to attack to win. And I think both teams are aware of that. But I think going off this Greenpoint, you could say some of it's because you know they've sort of surrendered a bit early, so you know the scoreline's not exactly flattering towards them. Not to say that this hasn't been a dominating performance from Linwood, but whether or not they've just decided, you know, they want to talk more strategy rather than focusing more closely on the game, where you usually would in ones where it was 3-0 with 3:25. The moment that fourth came through was kind of pretty much where it was drawn the line. And Linwood Senior High School, they will take this to a third, 6-0, a pretty dominant performance in game 2. But you know the scoreline goes completely out the window for the next game, because, well, that is the thing. It is a brand new game.
Yep.
As it does look like a few of the players
they're just changing cars probably.
Resets, car parts, all the stuff that I have absolutely no idea about. I mean, I don't even know which car I have for my own. I think it was I know it's orange, and I know it's a smaller one than the usual. So
Breakout, I think you've got. Nobody uses the Breakout.
No, I think it's a beautiful car. You're telling me my car gets used by no one. That's
You'll
crazy.
Notice a lot of octanes. A lot of people use the octane car.
Is that the octane for high octane gameplay?
Exactly. I think everybody in this game is using the octane. So there you go. You know which one it is because everybody's using the same car.
Yeah. And also, guys, remember, if you do put red on your car, it actually does go faster. That's what it is. And there it is. So they find that early goal like they did in game 1. Crispy Bacon just stole it away from the center. Beautiful dribble with himself there, and just a nice little touch up over the top. And Matthew flying back on defense could do nothing about that. And there it is. And immediately they can just go back to that sort of 2 they can play on defense. They don't need to put as much forward. And then just wait to see if any mistakes come through from Linwood when they try and go on more of those attacking forays.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they played it in game 1. Whether or not they do it in this one, we'll soon find out. But that's how they played it in game 1. And if they're going to do the same, they will. Because if it gets to about 2 minutes to go, they'll realise that the only way they're going to win this is if they stop Matthew from being able to attack. And what's the best way to stop somebody from attacking? Put 2 players back, just defend. And that's what they're doing now. You can see it. You can see that they're not over-committing to the play. And you can see there's 2 players in the goal. So the one makes a mistake, they're able to stop. And that's what Crispy Bacon did there. Somebody did a mistake. Crispy Bacon was there to stop it. And Matthew is starting to... There's a chance, and they do get the goal to get themselves back in. I was saying Matthew's starting to, I guess, not over-attack, but be a nuisance. And that's all he did there.
But that's the thing. You put 2 players towards Matthew. That does leave Matthias and Aqua, who are good players in their own right, and they will punish you. And that's what Matthias does there. So 1 apiece. The first goal was cancelled out, and now it's over to Greenpoint Christian College. How do they want to play it from here? They can't realistically have the 2 back as much as they would want now, but they have an opportunity to still find these ones on the counter. And Matthews solely playing that back on defense most of the time. If it does fall towards that 4-1, they still want to play that 1. They want to find that goal. Still playing towards that 2 at the back there. Matthias again putting that 1 towards goal. Will be cleared out of the corner. Matthew with the center there. No one really at home for him. And now Fat Red Panda with it flying through. Aqua will be back there with Matthias. But we're locked at 1 apiece. 3:30 on the clock. This is really up for anyone at the moment.
I said this would be the closest match of the day. And, I mean, it's looking like it at the moment. It's looking like a massive play could end up being the difference in this one. As Aqua tried to get to that one, couldn't quite. SaberX knocks that over to the side where Crispy Bacon should be able to get something on it to get rid of it. So 3 minutes to go on the clock. We're in that little lull stage where we'll find out who's able to finish off this series. Somebody's going to have a massive clutch at some stage. Will it be Crispy Bacon, who's been brilliant?
Ooh.
Tried to find a way there, couldn't quite. Will it be Matthew, who's also been brilliant? Fat Red Panda tries to find a way, couldn't quite. Matthew will knock it away. It's going to come back to SaberX. 2:45 to go on the clock.
Taking it all the way from defense to attack, but Crispy Bacon there for the intercept back through this one. As they look to try and bring this one forward, Matthias waiting down in towards the center. Fat Red Panda, not the best clearance he would have been after, and Matthias keeps it around just enough for some interest, but Matthew and Aqua will start to fall back. The pop up in the air, and now Matthew looking to try and take this one forward once again. It's over the back, but SaberX flying on in. He got past 1, not the second. Tries to keep it in his attacking half, and he will, but the destruction from Crispy Bacon, and that might be something they put into play a bit more. Just try and get the destruction on Matthew here and there, make them reset on plays, put the focus on towards Matthias and Aqua and see if they can deliver on those ones, and just allow, you know, a bit more calm on that defensive end.
Well, this is the game that we said if they're going to win it, this is how they're going to win it. It'll be a goal late on, like a 1-1 game. They've given themselves the chance, and that's exactly it. They've given themselves the chance here to find a shock goal from, I guess, it'd be a shock in the way that this game's been played at the moment, where Matthew's been dominating and 6-0 was the previous game. Can they find a shock? And Fat Red Panda nearly gets to that one. It'll come back to Crispy Bacon, who just goes back on rotation. SaberX knocks it down. Maybe Crispy Bacon with a chance. It bounces up. All 3 players go for it. 1:20 to go on the clock. Aqua gets to this. Finds it to the side, but it's going to be knocked away. Matthias. Crispy Bacon knocks it away. 1:15 to go.
Back and forth we go. Round and round the merry-go-round right now. There's Matthew trying to bring this one forward again. Matthias down the border, but he will deliver. Matthew, he hasn't been the goal scorer. He's been the assist man in this game. Beautifully just over the top, and Fat Red Panda looking for that clearance and didn't quite get what he needed. Matthias will get that one done, 2-1, and now this is where Greenpoint was struggling. They've got to put players forward, but it leaves them open at the back, as with any side when you're going towards this one. But Matthew, he might try and pounce on a few of these with a knock over the top. Cleared there from Fat Red Panda with a minute remaining. They've got to go forward. They've got to score, and they've got to score now.
Matthias has had a very good game 3. He didn't have a goal in game 1 or 2, and he's managed to find the 2 goals that has put them in the lead in game 3, as that one nearly goes in off Aqua. Tried to get the double, couldn't quite. And that's exactly it. They're going to go now. They're going to find a way. That's a good pass! Crispy Bacon goal! 2-2!
Matthew gets caught flat-footed on that one. Matthias missed the earlier one. Matthew just a little late. Put through beautifully from Big Red Panda, and Crispy Bacon delivers, and they will find that one. 2 apiece with 34 seconds. Neither team a backward step at the moment. It is still anyone's game, and Panda's going to be taking this one off the middle. The boost flying through well here. Doesn't quite get the secondary he was looking for, but Matthew doesn't get the clearance he was hoping for on that one either. SaberX coming in. This one flying towards goal. Aqua gets up nicely for the block and the save, but again flying in. This time it's Matthew under enormous pressure right now. Linwood, 12 seconds. They will probably have the final chance on their end to find something here. The clock continues to tick. It falls down towards the center, but Crispy Bacon with the clear. Matthew up again, but it's SaberX who gets the intercept. The ball will fall, and we're going to overtime to decide this final series of the day.
1 goal left in this series. Where is it coming? Is it coming on kickoff? Chance for Crispy Bacon to get something off the kickoff. Couldn't quite. And now, Fat Red Panda into the corner. Matthew has the ball now. They've got to watch themselves. They can take their time knowing that they just have to score. Just don't concede. Chance for Fat Red Panda. Both teams just cannot concede here or else they lose. A chance for Matthew to go up the other end. Can he find the miracle play that he's looking for in this game? Will Crispy Bacon, who's been brilliant in this series, find a pass, find a play that will get them the minor upset in this game that I said would be game of the day? It really has been. Matthew Dorset! He finds a way! Matthew will get the play, get the win, and the player from Dynasty wins the game.
A beautiful assist from Aqua. They can't get the top cleared, and Matthew down the bottom. It's an open goal, and he's more than happy to oblige. Linwood are your series winners, 2-1 to finish off the day. That was a banging series, and it's been a banging day of Rocket League, I must say, Foxy.
I mean, I said it'd be game of the day. It really was, and believe it or not, we still have one more game left today.
Oh, even better. I thought we were done. So that's even better. I thought, we're done for the day. That's everything. We get another game to finish one off. So who do we have to finish off the last one of the day?
So we have one more game left of the day, and it would be TCC Ghosts versus Portland Secondary College.
So the Ghost squad.
Temple Christian College again.
Yeah, so we saw their first loss of the season just beforehand, and well, now we'll get a chance to see what they're going to be reacting to that one. Because, look, if I'm them, if I'm Portland and going into this one,
yeah,
I'd be a little bit scared. But on the other side of things, Portland, now this is an important game for them. They're sitting at 8-4. A win would pretty much lock them into a final 8 spot. They've been a very solid team throughout this season so far. And you're catching the Ghosts on a day where they've lost a series that might just be a little bit off. There's a big opportunity today for that one.
Yeah, and not only that, but not necessarily win it, but just be able to keep with them. As long as there's no absolutely drubbing from the side of Temple Christian College, they can be happy that if they do get to the playoffs, that they can be with these other teams and find a win somewhere. This is a very important game for their momentum and for their, confidence to see that they can keep up with these big boys.
Well, it will be very interesting to see. Congratulations once again to the Linwood Senior High School. They will continue on their merry way, lock in towards that top 4 spot. Greenpoint still will be an opportunity for them to get something done in those circumstances. That will come down to a lot of games next week. But for the time being, guys, we're going to go to a quick break. When we return, our final game of the day, and then we'll be sending you off into the Saturday Arvo, or the late Saturday Arvo. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the 2022 Acer High School Cup Term 4 Rocket League. We're coming up to our final game series of the day, Foxy. And we've got ourselves another, well, I would say a bit of a banger to finish this one off.
Yeah. I mean, this is a big game for TCC as well after losing earlier in the day and getting rid of their undefeated streak. And not only is it a big game for them, but a big game as well for Portland, who are 8-4 at the moment. And on that verge of losing that playoff spot, they want to be able to not necessarily win it. I mean, winning it would be brilliant for them. It'd be a big upset, but to just give themselves a bit of confidence coming into playoffs, if they do get the playoffs, that they can play with the big boys. And not only that, but they're in that kind of spot where they might end up with a first round match against one of these big teams. If they're 8th seeded, they might end up playing against one of these big sides round one. So this is a big game for them to see that they can stick around and not... They just want to make sure that they don't make this a drubbing. If they can make this a good game and make it competitive and maybe get a win, this would be huge for their confidence.
I mean, that's always the thing. At the very least is getting that competitive game and trying to get through as much as that as they can. Because, I mean, when you're sitting in that 7th seed, and I think we've sort of seen that a few of these teams may struggle against some of the, I would say, the top teams when it comes down to a few of the games. Not to say that they don't have chances at all. I mean, for the Portland guys, considering where they were 2-3 to start the season, went on a nice 5-game winning streak, so they do have credentials to definitely play some good Rocket League, but can they show it against a team, you know, like, say, a Linwood, like, say, what we've got now against a Ghost, Brass, De La Salle's, teams that have been that sort of big? Because you have those top 5 teams where it's that most, De La Salle's is the most losses at 2, and you go to the next at 6 is Bookie Boys, and they're sitting at 9-4, and this is where Portland are 8-4. They're a chance to go equal with Bookie Boys today, but they need to be able to match it, so they've got to put in a whole lot of work if they want to make sure they can get this one done. That is for sure.
Yeah, they just got to close that gap a little bit. You can definitely see a gap. And come playoffs, though, anybody can win playoffs, and it's single elimination. You get that big win on playoffs, and all of a sudden, a team that's been undefeated the entire season, all of a sudden just could crumble. One series is all it takes to all of a sudden you're out of the tournament, and that's why these group stages are, yes, very important, but in a couple of weeks' time, those playoffs are just it's gonna be massive. There'll be a lot of I feel like there'll be a lot of upsets and a lot of big games. That we've seen a lot of big games in the group stage, but nothing can compare to in a couple of weeks' time when it's all single elimination and the pressure's really going to be mounting.
Well, that's really the thing. You know, when that pressure is on, who is the team that can stand up? And, you know, for Portland, I definitely think that they've got opportunities today to really just sort of drive home something that, you know, we should be respected, that we do have ourselves a really good opportunity to win these games. And we're going to do it in a sense as well. But I mean, looking over a few of their losses and just going from the one that sort of stands out the most, I'd say is probably the loss to the Sweaty Fellas group, who... Yeah. That's like... This is the Sweaty Fellas one. They're around the same sort of level where it's at 8th, 9th, 8th, 6th, 8th, 4, but they haven't really beaten the top 4 side. A lot of their wins have come against sort of the lower score, which you need to do. You're going to be playing those teams nonetheless. You need to make sure those are wins, but... They haven't been able to take a game off any of the top 4 teams they've had games against, and that's, you know, Newstead, they've had a go at Linwood's, St. Francis, and the Brass guys, and haven't had those opportunities to find those wins there so far. So today is just, if they can just put in the showing, and, you know, you can take a win from it as well. I mean, we saw with Ghost that maybe they're just not quite on today. So it should be a good game to finish. Most of the players are in here. I think we're just waiting on maybe one more player to start making their way in, and that's just a few technical issues, so hopefully that shouldn't be too far away. But yeah,
should be very, very quick. But
hoping for, I think all we can say is hoping for a good game, good series.
That's what I mean by they just need to show that they can perform, not necessarily win it, But if they can get a few goals and get a few good rotations, and kind of, there'll be mistakes, but that can be fixed. And especially with playoffs coming and everything else, the more that they play together and the more that they get used to each other, the better chance that they're going to give themselves. And this is one of those teams that are beating the lower sides but struggling against the better ones, as you said. And just being able to get themselves a chance would be, good enough. But got some news. Due to technical issues, this becomes a 3v2. So everything I just said just
well, everything just goes out the window. That is mighty unfortunate. And that will also, for the top 8 chances as well for Portland, that means that they are going to be fighting for a top 8 come the finals time now, because they will fall to 8 and 5 most likely here. They're going to be around the same with Gladiators and Sweaty Fellas who are 8 and 6 and 8 and 5. So they could realistically fall back towards that 9th spot. So a lot on the line for these ones here. And I mean, it's always a bit of a shame when that kind of thing happens, where, a team just doesn't. And that's what is that the second time now or third time? I feel like it's happened that often. Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah. No, we had a 2v2 earlier, and we've had a 3v2, and now we're getting another 3v2. But I feel like, it's like last week where we had not necessarily the anticlimactic end, but just a nice little, rundown of what we've gone as DeCloud makes it 1-0, and I got a feeling there's going to be quite a few goals in this one. But a nice little rundown of what's gone on.
Are we going to get another 20-goal final game like last week? Because I feel like it might be coming our way.
Where's Zav when you need him?
Looking for his 20. I wonder if any of the players here on Temple Christian College are looking to see if they can set up the old 20 goals. Well, DeCloud already has himself 2, and we've gone just 17 seconds, so it's very much on the cards. Now, it's never a great thing when you've gone the whole day, everything's fine with the PC, and then at the last minute, bang, everything just falls to pieces, and unfortunately is a bit of a downer.
Yeah, but, this could end up being a blessing in disguise for them, though, because by the looks of it anyway, they've come off the blocks and DeCloud's looking good. If it was 3v3 and they got demolished, their confidence might have been a bit lower than being 3v2 and going, we're missing our best player. You know what I mean? It changes the mindset a little bit. And maybe it's a little bit of a blessing in disguise that they can take this down to, a technical issue of not having their third player, instead of being a skill issue.
Yeah, just clearly a skill issue. When you're missing a player, clearly a skill issue.
I had the chance to say it. I had to say it.
And when you're presented with opportunities, you do take them. As DeCloud is presented with another opportunity, a goal with Lucas coming across, and they've managed to keep them out for the last minute or so here. The side of Portland Secondary College.
They're definitely okay, aren't they? They're definitely... I think it's a bit different than last week when we saw the one-sided 3v3 game. It's definitely, as DeCloud puts in another one, but you can see why they've been winning games against the lower sides, because they are good rotation-wise, and they are good defensive-wise. It's unfortunate that they don't have that third player. It probably would have been a bit closer than what it is, but DeCloud's looking very, very good, and especially with having the open chances. He's a very mechanical player, and these mechanical players, when they are open, they will just outplay you, and he's got the opening because there's nobody there.
That's usually how it's going to fall. And then again, it's just like when you're in the 3v2s, it's just any mistake you give up is always going to be put away. As Unique God, I'd almost forgotten he was here after hasn't scored a goal so far in this one, but he will put that one down 4-0 with 3:10 left on the clock. And well, I guess if anything, this is a good time just to talk about the thoughts of these teams going in towards finals, especially for Temple Christian College. And they lose that one today, and then they're presented with what would have been a good chance to really prove themselves in a 3v3 against Portland, who are a team that not one of the top 4 ones, but definitely still vying for finals. And instead you get sort of a game like this, and this, I don't know, just sort of can lull you into not into the best mindset, I feel. I mean, you take a week before the break anyway, so it shouldn't really matter, but they've still got things to work on, of course, because, you know, you lose that one there. They'll be fighting for a top 4 spot because, I mean, there are 5 teams that are still around that, like, 10-2, 12-1. Newstead have pretty much locked in the top unless they do drop next week, but, yeah, there's still a lot at stake for these games.
Yeah, if Newstead's going to lose a game, I'd say it'd be against these lads at the last game of the season that I'm sure will probably be streamed because it'll be a 1 versus 2 game to end the season. And here's my little bold prediction. If they are to win the season, this team, Unique God needs to be the player who needs to show up. We saw in the game earlier that they lost. Unique God just didn't play the way that we know he can. We've seen him a lot on stream, and whenever they do win, he's usually the one who pops off and gets those plays and gets those massive clutch plays that give them the lead. And today, he just didn't show up in the game that they lost, and maybe that's the difference.
Well, that it is, and well, 6-0, 2 minutes left on the clock here, and looking to try and get some forward momentum going here. The team of Portland Secondary College. Jagan looking to intercept in the air. You know, Gold will put that one past him, and Lucas will get the knock away there again, centered towards. And I mean, they haven't been. Look, the fact that it's 6-0.
Yeah,
it's a 3v2. I think you can pretty much say the 2 Portland players that have made their way in here, Lucas.
Yep.
And also on the other side of things, I think it's who is the other player there? I've missed his name about 5 times here. Johogan. Johogan?
Yeah.
One of those. They've shown that they definitely have the skills and the mindset for this game. Like they're very decent. They're very good players.
Yep.
But I mean, you're coming up against a team like Temple Christian, as the 7th one goes in, and a player advantage, especially when it's one of the top teams. If it was the other way
100%.
around, you'd probably put Portland down to winning this. Unfortunately, it's not gone their way in this instance, and as it stands, this might even be another goal here for Unique God, but he's gone a little too far over that one. Clearance again as we tick down towards that minute mark.
I do thank Temple though, because I can definitely see that they do have chances every once in a while to score an open net, and they're going against it, and it's like that's a caster's dream when you have these open games, and it's like it ends up like 20-0, and you watch 20 different replays and try to go through the script. What do I talk about now? What do I talk about now? It's like, you know, at least they're not only they're practicing their mech at the same time. I feel is that because they're going to have to show up against a team like Newstead next week. They're going to have to show that not only they can do the mech, but they're going to have to do rotation as well. And rotation, in my opinion, is harder than I know a lot of people are against me when I say that, but being able to rotate and defend at a high level requires a lot of game sense. And whereas mech you can practice, sometimes rotation and game sense is a lot harder to practice because instead of being in free play, you've got to actually play the game. You've got to be with a team of 3. And that comes with experience. And the longer that the season goes with these 3 guys, the better they're getting. The only problem is they did drop one today, but if they can rotate well against the top side, they're in with a chance of that $8,000 prize.
Yeah, they are, as Temple Christian will close out our first game 1-0 as well. 3v2. It's almost, well, I mean, this game is pretty much decided before the next one's even started, unless our beautiful boy couldn't make it in and is somehow flying in towards the game right now, but yeah, it's not much of a again, not much we can really do against this one. But also the fact that Portland are actually playing fairly decently as well with the 2 that they've got and doing as well as they can. It does mean that we aren't looking at any 20-goal games either, so it really is just, well, the time is ticking down and hopefully we see a couple of highlight plays here and there, but well, The game itself, the games themselves today have been very good fun.
Yeah, I was going to say it's been a really, really good day, and not only that, but as DeCloud scores that one off the kickoff, and the own goal comes in, so he'll get credited with it. This is a nice, relaxing end to what has been a really hectic day. I thought that last week was really exciting, but this week has had upsets, it's had 3v2s, it's had 2v2s, and really has been a hectic day of Rocket League, and there's still a week left of group stage action before we get to that playoffs, but that playoffs is going to be quite a story.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is all just setting up perfectly for next week, where there's going to be a lot of stories coming down the top 4 challenge. The teams like Portland who are going to be vying to try and get those last few spots in the top 8. Teams that are just, still there for a bit of fun. And that's the thing as well. I mean, if any of these teams that are vying for spots are still trying to make the way, they're just off their game slightly, it's going to affect so much just leading into finals next week.
Yeah. As that one goes in off Wrinkly, he gets his first goal. His first goal of the series so far, which is good for him. He takes Unique God's shot. But, I really do think that there's a fight for about, I'll say about 8th to 10th is really, really close at the moment as to who's going to get that 8th spot. There's about 3 teams that are fighting for it. Unique God gets one there. There's 3 teams that are fighting for it, and it could come down to the last game of the season. So I know that first v second is happening on the last game of the season, but if we end up with a really, really close top 8 fight, we might end up seeing a game on stream that could be significant to see who gets into the playoffs.
That's what we're always hoping for. I mean, today we're just seeing those games that we're most likely going to be seeing finals. I mean, we had those Term 2 grand finalists in our previous game before. We'll be seeing probably a few more of those, what could be grand final matchups, all just sort of coming together. Leading up and towards those final ones, even the games that we might have next week. I believe we do have Newstead. We're playing, they are playing the Temple Christian College next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Sorry, I was just looking at what they were doing at the goal.
Oh, that's not safe for work. What?
High school competition.
Oh, boy.
Make sure your teacher's not watching. 4-0, and I mean, at least they're having a bit of fun. They know that they've come into this with just an unfortunate circumstance, but at least, as I said before, that at least they didn't have the 3 players and it being a whitewash like this. At least they have some type of, reason behind losing, and when you think of it that way, then your mindset isn't as bad as what it would be if you got demolished 3v3. They can just put this down to a technical error and say, we'll come back next week and we'll beat it. You know what I mean? And at least that way it keeps their confidence a little bit high.
Well, that's what you always want to be running through. If you have the confidence, as long as you can back it up, you always want it flowing through. But, well, this game is just continuing to make its way towards its logical conclusion. We're ticking now below 3 minutes as Unique God will find their 4th goal from their 4th shot there.
That was a good shot.
That was well played. I think we're running out of ideas.
Yeah, I know, right? What do we talk about now? I mean, I don't know who's interested or anything like that. In a half an hour's time is the playoffs for the RLCS for the championship series. I know a lot of people will be watching that.
Is that that's the main one, isn't it?
Yeah, so OCE's best of the best pretty much play. It was so the way it works is they have like an open tournament, and then they have an invitational tournament. So the top 16 was yesterday, and the top 8 is today. So the top 8 teams, like the big ones like Pioneers and all them, the big teams will be playing on later today on a streaming website, which I'm probably not allowed to mention on Facebook. But yeah, so that'll be on.
Yeah, it's never heard of that one before in my life.
Yeah,
so
no, of course not.
couldn't tell you. As the magical number 10 might be coming up fairly soon here. Hogan will get that block there as Unique God. Bit too far with that one. Everyone misses. DeCloud comes in. And we'll make it a 10 there. So 10-0, 240.
You get a 10.
Everyone has sort of just... Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not...
But, I mean, it's a good rest after what we have seen today. I said it before. It's been such an anarchy kind of day. And, I mean, we've only had we only had 2 3v3s throughout the entire day. The rest was doubles and 3v2s, and
it's been a pretty crazy day. All the other stuff, we've almost just worn ourselves out, and this is just like the sort of like oh, you know, this is actually this is all right. We'll be fine with this.
Yeah, that's yeah. I do. The playoffs is going to be big, and like, you know, thanks to ViewSonic, we got that big $8,000 prize, and there'll be a lot of teachers watching, and a lot of not only like teachers watching, but a lot of school students watching your field and going, oh, you know, we've got this big chances at this huge ViewSonic, you know, big television that you can touch. It's like, that's what I think of it as. It's just this massive screen for those of you who haven't seen it. It's just, I wish I had one as a student when I was a kid 7,000 years ago. It really is cool how, you know, technology has changed that way for students.
I remember having the old,
yeah.
I think I remember having chalkboards until about grade 4 or 5, and then we switched over to a few of the old, I don't know, the projectors. I don't actually remember the name of which ones, but it was all...
I remember, so my teacher was like a big politics nerd, I guess. He was mayor of the place that I was actually in. And
it's happening.
Yeah, I know. I saw it in the goal. I'm ignoring it.
It's kind of hard to ignore.
I know, true.
The old zoom-ins as well don't help.
I used to always have to, on a Monday, like whatever big news happened on the weekend, we'd write down a whole article and put it on the whiteboard, and everyone would have to write it in their books. It's the most boringest thing. Write down like an article, you'd write it. It'd be the best way to, I guess, find out about the news, I guess. And it was so bleh. But now with these giant, you know, ViewSonics and everything else, you don't have to write it down. You know what I mean? You don't have to write it
Said
down
we
anymore.
couldn't hit 20. I was wondering why there were so many more goals in this game. So, well, there it is. Someone, didn't say that. I don't think it was about whether you guys could hit 20, but, you know, if you want to go for it, you're more than welcome to.
Technically, with an open goal, like, you hit 50 if they actually get it right. Like,
it's not exactly like Portland are giving much of a, let's just say.
The time stops when there's a replay, so you know what I mean? It's like, you could score as many as you want. But, you know, I mean, once again, as I said before, I think that their confidence won't change that much in this game because they knew they only had 2 players, and you can tell from that they're obviously not. I wouldn't say not trying, but whereas there was a bit of, I guess, tilt on the side of earlier when we had the 3v2 and they were ahead and they lost that lead and they kind of seemed to be a bit tilty. This one, they're just looking at it as, we've got 2 players, you know, it happens, and their confidence won't take it from this at all. There's 1 minute left on the clock and 1 minute left in the day.
Yeah, well, they've only got a minute left on the clock, and I don't see a scoreline that says 20, to be honest. And with Lucas stopping them there. I mean, they did say they were going for it. It'd be really disappointing if they couldn't find it here, especially since there now seems to be Portland have decided to wake up and stop that 20 from happening. 30 seconds left on the clock.
So they're struggling to get that. Yeah, they're not going to get it in time because they're out of boost and they're out of rotation. So you can see that it just the longer that the ball goes, it's just the longer the time goes off the clock. So it's just they've run out of time, and in fact they're missing open goals too. So whoever said they couldn't score 20 goals, well done, you won your bet.
As the clock ticks down below the 10 seconds, we now sit at 5. DeCloud might have one more for the books, but Hogan will deny that, and that is all she wrote. Unique God will do a little bit of dribbling with the ball just to extend us a little bit further. I don't think Lucas is too keen to stick around too much longer, but it's still gonna
only that.
Oh, go a bit, DeCloud.
He had enough.
Oh.
There
No, won't quite find the final one there, but that is the game done. Temple Christian College will take a 2-0 series victory. Not the close game we might have been hoping for to end the day, but it was a game all the same. And that is us. Well, I mean, that is all the series done, all the games done. And I mean, it's always been good fun as always. That is week 3, I think, now in the books. Or was this week 4? Yep. Week 3, all right. Week 3. On the money with that one, which means next week, our final week of games. And then, of course, we will move on to finals. So, well, we'd love to see what could happen there. Should be a lot of fun. And I guess, Foxy, before we do go anywhere, we do need to thank our very lovely sponsors, because without them, we wouldn't see 16-0 thrashings in a 3v2 situation like that.
Yeah, I know. And, you know, thanks to all of our sponsors, especially Acer Predator Gaming is our presenting partner. Discover your next favourite game. Play over 100 high-quality games with your new Acer and Predator Gaming Windows 11 PC and 1 month of Xbox Game Pass Ultimates. We've also got ViewSonic, who we talked about during that game, who have the My View Board software suite. Upgrade your classroom today with ViewSonic's large format interactive displays and the My View Board software suite. We've also got AOC Monitor, the gaming monitor partner. Get the best gaming experience with their latest range of gaming monitors, and Rig Gaming, the headset partner. Experience great sound with Rig's gaming range of headsets. So thank you so much to all of our sponsors who really, really do help us here and provide a lot of help and a lot of software, and also to ViewSonic for that $9,000 prize later on in the playoffs.
Yes, well, without them, we wouldn't be able to put on the show that we do, and it has been a show all the same. Another bleak week in the book, another good bout of Rocket League casting with myself and Mr. Foxy, of course. I think it's been, overall, pretty good, pretty fun.
Yeah. Can't
really complain. Everyone gets a bit out of everything. We've seen a 3v2, a 2v2, close games, top of the table teams that hadn't lost, losing. I mean, the day really had everything, even the big old blowout at the end. That's now 2 weeks in a row we've had that. So the other one was a 3v3 though, so I don't know what that that might have just been, scheduling of that one.
Yeah, true.
We're gonna have blowouts, but in the end, again, as they say, as long as everyone had fun, as long as we all enjoyed ourselves, that's all you can ask for, really. A little bit of fun there. So. Guys, that is us done. Hope that you enjoyed us. If you want to hit up me and Foxy for any other casting stuff as well, you can always find us at our Twitters down below our names. That's also an Eevee doll, so I don't know if that's a part of the package that comes with Foxy casting, but it might.
Oh, no, it always does.
Well, there you go. That's just a free bonus you get with that one. Also, make sure you check out the AL University and high school pages on the Facebook, Twitter. On this one here, make sure you're always booked in for a Saturday Arvo whenever there is we've got Rocket League, there's also Smash Bros, I don't know, there's another bunch of other games that we usually have streaming on. You're not going to be bored. If you get bored with us, which, I mean, you really shouldn't, because it's us, but you might find some other stuff on the other streams as well. So, guys, thank you very much. We'll leave you with one last beautiful ViewSonic ad, and then that's us for the day. Stream will cut. And we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Catch you next time.